Welcome to It Gets Weird, our comedy show where we explore the unusual, the unbelievable, and the unexplained for the past 300 episodes.
We've tried to make your world a little weirder.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Niall.
And this week...
Everyone take a seat around the fire.
Everybody gather. It's episode 300, which 300 is the notorious number in which ghouls and goblins gather around the campfire.
It's the scariest number because Zack Snyder made it.
It's the scary... Oh, Jesus. God damn it. This is episode 300 of It Gets Weird. We are doing a special Campfire Stories episode 300 edition, and we have some guests in the room. Would you like to introduce yourself first?
Hi, Kyle. Thanks for pointing at me. This is Collin. I've been a friend of the pod, friend of the fans, friend of the friends in the room.
Friend of the animals.
Friend of the animals.
Yeah.
I'm wearing bug socks. Friend of bugs.
It's true.
I'm decent. I think Friends is an okay television show. It's fine. I haven't seen all the episodes.
You're an acquaintance of Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have another guest. Holy shit. Right across from me.
I am actually pissed that Niall said Zack Snyder because I was 100% going to say this is Sparta. One of the times you said the number 300.
Hey, we got
I was like, no one else. That's so not topical. No, there's no way anyone else will make that joke. But no, the only other lame asshole in here who would have made it.
Yeah. Hey, there's a reason we're together.
My love, my life, Niall.
Friend of the show. Can I say girlfriend of the show? Is that is that legal?
I'm dating the show.
We're in an open relationship with the podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jules is back. Friend, girlfriend of the show, beloved guest is back for this Campfire Stories. And then our final guest, you know him, you love how much he loves ranch.
You love to hate me. It's me. What's up? What's good?
It's Garrett, and we get
It's
emails
me.
all the time of people who are saying, keep getting him back on the show. We love to hate
We
him.
love the ranch. We love the jokes. We're glad he's here.
Garrett's
No one has
here.
ever sent an email saying that they're glad that I'm here.
No, we have had multiple Discord conversations about Garrett though.
Yeah.
So you are loved.
To be clear, every single person who is currently in this room has had people who listen to the show mention how much they love you guys. I want you to know that.
I encourage everyone who's listening to this right now to send some emails about how you feel about Garrett.
I
Please.
encourage everyone listening to this to form a parasocial relationship with me. In fact,
Absolutely.
And I think
want you to-
everyone...
we are best friends in real life. And I want you to tell your friends and family that.
And congressmen.
Yeah, and
congressmen.
congressmen. Email your senator and tell him to listen to me because I'm your best friend.
Hey, Congressman, this guy has a lot of opinions on creamy dipping sauces. Get at him. He's got great ideas. Also, this podcast is pretty fucking lit. 300 episodes. Can you believe it? LOL. Just at U.S. Congress at yourstate.gov.
You're gonna get a letter back.
You're gonna get one.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Yeah, wow. This is episode 300. We are going to do...
Oh, this is Sparta.
This is...
I nailed it.
fucking
Oh
did it.
my God.
If you
Snuck right in.
at the very end, we do have a large, like bottomless pit in the center of the room that Jules is going to kick me into after we're done recording.
And then we're all gonna die in a pitched battle.
Yeah, it's going to be a great tribute to our favorite
that a
film, Zack
spoiler?
Snyder's 300, based off of the comic book series 300.
You can't spoil a movie that's been out for 15 years.
That's pretty much true.
You know.
That's pretty much true.
Hey, I've
Tonight we
seen.
dine in hell.
Hey, look, we've all seen Meet the Spartans here. So like that's
Don't
I
put
saw
that on
in
me.
theaters.
you did.
So did I. Wait, is
My-
that legitimate? I never thought I'd be in a room with 5 people and all of them had seen the movie Meet the fucking Spartans.
I watched it. I went through a phase where I was watching like all of those shitty movies. Like I watched all of the like scary movies, which some of them are actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then I watched.
Scary movie's good.
Yeah,
like-
like the first 2 especially are like pretty
beginning,
solid.
yeah.
3.
3. I'll give you some.
Let's
of
get
3.
into it.
Yeah,
It's episode
that's-
300.
that's where
this
this
is the
episode's going.
time.
It's gonna be like the bonus episode on the fucking not Sixth Sense, the other one,
Signs.
Signs, where
Oh,
you had
boy.
a
Great
fight.
movie. Me and Garrett. I pointed
Do you
at
think
Garrett when I
anyone-
said that.
Do you think anyone's ever called Signs the other Sixth Sense? Is that the first fucking time that's ever happened?
It's a lot of firsts here on It Gets Weird.
Cool.
My dad
So
wanted to see Meet the Spartans, but I didn't willingly go to the theater.
Here's the thing. You're in a
Yeah,
room.
I'm sure you were really dragging your feet.
Colin,
I'll never forget that my dad came out. That was one of the few times that my dad came out of the theater and went, "That fucking sucked."
Collin, you're in a room with 4 people who've seen Meet the Spartans, so
Oh,
we gotta take Kyle's
outta here.
virginity.
Get him out.
yeah, you'll have to show me that.
Get
after
him
we're
out of
done
here. I want him
today,
gone.
so-
Oh, Kyle, I won't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, I'm just
Thank
not
you.
going to do that
I
to
appreciate
you
it.
with you or any
Ugh.
combination of that.
It would be fun as like a cultural memory thing to watch one of those movies because all of the references in that movie are from like a 6-month period,
Right.
before production started. So it'd be like, what of this do you remember, Kyle?
You're
like,
gonna-
what culturally is still knowledge?
You're gonna have to like fucking. What's the Orange movie by Kubrick?
Orange is the New Black.
Clockwork Orange?
No,
My favorite Kubrick movie.
A Clockwork Orange. You're gonna have to fucking pull my eyelids open like
Yeah.
the scene in that movie to get me to watch this
Now,
shit.
Kyle and
frankly.
Niall, I have a question. This being your 300th episode,
Yeah.
which one of you, by a show of hands, just thought and sort of preempted the idea that the first 5 minutes of your 300th episode we're talking about the Spartans?
It's on brand is the thing.
Yeah, I know, it's very
Um,
good.
This
I
is
mean-
what the people crave.
Yeah, we were actually straight up earlier today talking, or like Garrett and I were talking, and Garrett was using the phrase. I was like, "We're gonna probably bullshit a lot during this episode," and Garrett's like, "Well, people crave content." And I was like, "You know what? You're absolutely right. They do."
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. But that does bring me to the point of the matter: why we're all gathered here today. We're doing Campfire Stories, which I personally, I didn't consult Niall on this, but I'm calling Bonfire Edition.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
It's because he's been playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
There's no bonfires in Elden Ring. Thank you.
But
It is basically a bonfire. This time, a mix-up with the Campfire Stories in the Bonfire Edition. This time, we're going to actually use a role-playing system called Lasers and Feelings to help give us some structure. It's going to vary a little bit here. We're also so the other important deviation for our players plus people listening at home who are used to our show, nobody's picking between 2 different stories here. I have created a fun little adventure. And,
so we're getting railroaded.
Yeah.
okay.
This game's on rails.
Yeah. Well, hey, kind of.
Not an open world adventure.
It's contained. It's a one shot. But I've crafted this one shot for funsies so that we can all play it, as opposed to, somebody gets the shaft and gets kicked out. One of the stories is not used. Now, this little system, Lasers and Feelings, you can look it up. You can find it. It's a free game. It's just 1-page PDF. But let me give you the lowdown of the basic idea. So you have D6s. You have 6-sided die that you're rolling to determine whether or not you do something. Oh, thank you for the Foley.
I was gonna do that bit.
We're all friends.
You got to be quick on the draw.
I
Garrett.
know.
As
Brother
I
snagged
learned
me.
with
He
my
got
great
me.
300 reference, you got to get in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
For episode 300, you can't keep any bits in the chamber
Yeah.
because someone
Fire
will
'em.
make them before you.
Yeah,
Yep.
just fucking firing them off.
Interrupt, fire him at will.
Yeah,
Straight over
Here
the
I am
bow.
being courteous, letting Kyle finish. That was my first mistake.
Exactly. So just jump right in next time, really.
I should have brought some candy wrappers in for fire.
Ooh.
crackling.
Oh, yeah.
Crinkly, ooh. So
Let's just start a real fire here in the middle. Surely the apartment complex
300th
won't be upset
episode,
about
we're all
that.
going to cook alive in a room with the mics on.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're in a small room, all 5 of us seated around with gear and mics and everything. We're just light a
So
fire in
fucking
the center.
grim. The remaining 45 minutes of this 4-hour podcast is just silence and fire crackling.
It's like my favorite art piece where someone lit a piano on fire on a beach.
Oh yeah,
And then they were playing a song, and the song is changed as the strings burst.
yeah. It's
and
gonna be that, but it's gonna be our bodies
Yeah,
bursting from the
That's
heat.
cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah. So in this system, you are either good at lasers or feelings. Lasers are like technical things and action and fighting and things like that. And then feelings is like, they say passion. It's like social stuff,
Kissing, hugging.
kissing, hugging, and all that comes with that.
Which
Hugging
I'm
from
very
behind the
good
back.
at.
And
Yeah.
kissing
Just a
neck.
heads up.
Yeah.
Just so all the listeners know, Garrett is great at kissing.
Primo.
Really good. You can get +1 die to your pool when you roll if you are prepared. And then you can get an additional +1 if you're an expert. So my players here are going to have to kind of argue those things with me if they're an expert or if they're prepared to get those extra die. And then based on whether they roll above or below a number of their choosing, they will get successes on either lasers or feelings. Making sense so far? Am I doing an okay job explaining
so.
this?
I think we might have missed the bit where each of us is going to choose whether we want to be lasers or feelings
Right.
by dictating, like you said, a number that we set out. So if I wanted to be very good technically, I would make a 5. So every time we rolled a dice, when what Kyle was saying that we could get +1 plus 2 d6, if I rolled 1 d6 and I rolled anything under a 5, that would be considered a 6 or a success. If I was an expert, so I was rolling 2 d6, if both of them were under a 5, there would be 2 successes. It's not a cumulative adding of our numbers.
Right. So basically, everybody here is going to have a number, and you want to roll above or below those numbers. If you want to roll for lasers, for the science, for the tech, for the action, you want to roll below your number. So the higher your chosen number is, the better you are at lasers. The lower your number is, the better you are at feelings. So it's the opposite, where you want to roll above your number for feelings rolls. So that all makes sense.
Yep.
On a per dice basis. I
Cool.
like it.
So success is determined. So like if you roll 1 successful die in your pool, then that is a success, but it's not a resounding success. There might be a cost. There might be a complication that comes with that, with the single success. If you roll 0, then you fail and something goes wrong. If you get to 2 dice, then you just flat out succeed. Nothing about it. If you get 3 dice, you get a critical success and you can get some sort of extra effect. Then here's the one more catch to rolling dice is if you roll your number exactly. Rolling your number exactly is a laser feelings. And rolling your number exactly is counted as a success. And when you roll that number, you also get to ask me a question about the game to try and get a hint about what you're supposed to do. So, I think that's about it. The players can help each other as well. Like if somebody is saying like trying to succeed on a particular thing and another person's like, oh, I'm like, I can help with that. I'm good at that. Then they can roll and add. They basically have to make an argument for how they're going to help that person succeed at their role. And then they'll get a +1 die to their pool when they receive that help. There's other rules to this game that like are more about the like sci-fi sort of premise of it, but we just wanted the dice rolling system to kind of make this a little easier for me to manage with 4 players.
I have one question.
Yeah.
If I'm helping someone, do I roll for them or do they get to roll an extra die?
You roll in addition.
Okay.
So as I understand it, you make a roll. You have to first you argue, here's how I'm going to help them. And then you make a roll based on what you're doing. And that, honestly, as I'm understanding it, could be either a lasers or a feelings roll, depending on how you're helping them. And if you succeed on your help roll, then they get +1 die to their pool when they roll.
So just real quick, I was going to say it just says that if you succeed, give them +1 dice.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so,
what I'm saying.
So you're rolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Basically, the person will be like, I'm trying to do this. And then before that person rolls, the person who wants to help them will have to be like, let me help you. And here's how I do it.
Gotcha.
And then they roll. So that's how that works. If you want to get in depth on that's pretty much exactly the rules. Like I said, there's other sci-fi stuff to the system, but we're not using that because we just want the rolls because we're kind of doing a sci-fi story. There's elements, but we're doing
Hard or
our own
soft
thing.
sci-fi.
Let's
This
say
is all about the technique.
Impossibly hard.
let's say
Pure like Asimov. Like we're basically just communicating like schematics of robots. Yeah.
so we've established the rules. Does everybody have a pretty good idea? So here's the thing: people are going to actually be rolling. You're going to hear dice rolls in this.
It's going to be
episode.
in your ears.
It's going to be crazy.
I'm gonna boost all the dice.
Every
rolls.
time I roll, I'm going to put the dice right
Same.
beside
I'm going to
the
put it
mic.
right under the.
God.
Beautiful. I personally love it.
It sounds great.
It's amazing.
We have these little like felted like quiche tray dice rolling things.
Niall wants to be having fun so bad right now and is just like, it's cool. This is great jokes, you guys. I edit this podcast, but it's fun.
Well, so you're going to get some dice fully.
I think it's gonna be great.
I am Game Master Kyle. and you won't like me when I'm game master.
You should start it like a good DM and say, and I'm here to kill you.
No, I look, I set out to make this fun. I don't really have any plans to murder you unless you get on my back.
We do have to refer to you as game master
You
from
do.
now on, though.
You
okay.
do.
He's
Absolutely.
treating us as the enemy right
Yes,
now.
that's right.
We are no longer friends
You know,
as of this minute.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Real talk.
We've never been friends.
This has been a relationship built on distrust, just thin fucking ice this entire time.
One wrong move and Kyle and I are going to be at each other's
That's right.
throats.
No, yeah, I'm macking on him maybe.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh. Maybe I need to make my character a 1.
Yeah. No, seriously though, I think that that's bad game thing to do. To be like
To not be friends?
No,
bad game thing to
that's
do.
Great. That's great. No, I'm just saying like
To be friends.
if you're going into these games thinking like I gotta kill my players, then who's having fun? Just you.
I think you have the highest body count of any Campfire Stories author.
Okay.
But I will say
I was
that.
going to say, like the
I've
very
died
first
multiple
episode,
times.
you killed Niall with
I just
me.
want to say, I did go back and listen to old Campfire Stories, and let me tell you, it's a bit of a trade-off, buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah, you died in the first one that I ran, and then I died in yours immediately after. So we had a little bit of trade-off. I literally... it's so funny too because when you go back and listen to that, you die and you're like going like, okay, I guess. And then the next one, I'm just like, oh no, this is revenge. And so I think we're even there. But I didn't set out to kill you guys. I want you all to have fun. That's the whole point of all of this.
Well, I'm setting out to die.
Okay, well, if you want to, that works too. That's perfectly fine.
My character is going to actively have a death wish.
Yeah,
Be
I'm
like,
going to be just like
yes!
walking off cliffs as many times as possible.
I step into traffic. I drink bleach.
That's
like,
right.
Kyle, question.
Yes,
As I was
absolutely.
reading through the Lasers and Feelings guide, it did say that our characters, like if you're doing it for the science fiction on a ship kind of thing that the game system was made for,
Yeah.
you're supposed to have a goal for your character that's set out at the beginning.
Yeah.
Are we setting goals for our individual characters, or are we operating as a team with one set unit goal?
There is a team unified goal that I'm about to get into real quick. But
Well, I think Garrett and I both have this sub goal of like kissing.
okay.
I was
cool.
going to say my
So-
personal goal is to eat ass and skate
A
fast.
bunch of kissing, hugging, yes.
So like romantic stuff is you're gonna need sparks to
No
fly between your
romance.
character. Oh, no
I'm gonna-
romance, just kissing for the fun of it.
Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever
just fun
beastie shows up in this, I am going to fuck.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
100%
that's
confirmed.
you know
We're
I'm-
earning the explicit tag this
Yeah,
week.
I'm
folks.
I'm holding you to that one. Garrett.
It's going to be graphic. It's going to be 15 minutes minimum,
Oh my god.
and you're going to love it.
Yeah, no, I'll hold you to that, Garrett. We'll
roll for lasers for penetration.
and then feelings for how much you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And you are prepared, but you are not proficient, so you
Yeah.
get 2 total dice.
Not an expert, but you are very
When
much
you
prepared.
roll, you're really good at this, but you hate it.
Now, before I do get into the unified goal for the team, there is something that I would like to have you guys establish.
Ghostbusters 2.
So,
We did some pre-pro.
Yeah, we did discuss this.
in this story, our players here are a team of paranormal investigators, but they are also all playing themselves. And you all get called upon by an anonymous contact requesting that you investigate a murder mystery in a mansion. Now, what
Scooby-Doo.
are you actually going to be Ghostbusters 2? Is that actually
That's the name of our team.
Ghostbusters 2, the movie, the ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the logo.
And we have business
You know
cards.
how the logo for the movie is the ghost with the
Yeah.
like a peace sign too?
Uh-huh.
Ours is he's got both hands up with one finger on each hand. Yeah.
And I would also like to note that because Ghostbusters 2, the movie, the ride's so long, our business cards, I took the time to take a little strip of like paper and like keep writing because
Oh,
like the whole thing
you
didn't
kinda-
fit on
right.
the
It's
side
All
of it.
like taped onto the
Taped
card.
onto
Yeah.
cards.
So they're just like a little leaflet, this little scotch tape, and I hand wrote like the very end of the ride.
Okay.
Yeah. 'cause
Okay,
I thought
cool,
it was
cool.
important. I didn't know how to do carriage returns on the typewriter that I made them on.
Oh yeah, we straight up made these by hand.
I'm
They're-
very
God.
lasers, and I repair typewriters as a hobby.
Okay. And Collin just did a great example of if you want to embellish on your own personal character backgrounds, which is you, but like kind of like an alternate reality you on the fly with improv, go for it. So Collin canonically works on typewriters,
Yeah,
which is
that's my job.
absolutely insane in 2022.
That's his. I swear he just said that's his job. It's not a hobby.
No, yeah, I own a failing typewriter repair
I was going to
shop.
say, how's business?
Bad.
It's basically just Tom Hanks.
That's very much one of those like, I bet the dick's insane.
Oh, he owns a typewriter repair shop? That
And
guy's
it's
probably
failing.
laying
And
serious.
it's like, he's not doing well.
It's been failing for 56 years since before I even got it, and it's just so bad.
There's just a dartboard with Steve Jobs and Bill Gates like on the board, and everyone just throws darts at it.
X's on their eyes and shit.
yeah.
Well, so we've decided upon a paranormal investigative team name, and that is Ghostbusters the movie.
Ghostbusters 2.
The movie, The Ride.
movie, The Ride.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to need you to say that in full whenever you refer to
Right.
us. Thank
So
you.
here is the letter that you received from the anonymous person or party. And it says, Dear Ghostbusters 2, the movie, The Ride. I have heard tell of your prowess at investigating the supernatural and paranormal. As such, I would call upon your services to solve a gruesome and tragic mystery, the murder of 2 millionaire podcast hosts within the confines of their own mansion.
Is it Joe Rogan and Mark Maron?
No,
Damn it.
no, they're long dead by the time this
Oh,
story
good.
takes place.
Canonically dead.
Canonically, they have been gone for a hot minute. Murdered at the tender ages of 100 and 101, well before their time. The victims cashed in on their podcast many years ago, affording them a luxurious mansion that they could spend their retirement in, recording renowned podcast episodes about the paranormal up until their terrible demise at the young age of 100 and 101.
These guys sound like dipshits.
I am an anonymous party who is invested in seeing their murder solved, and I have extremely good reason to believe that the murder is paranormal in nature, hence my circumventing traditional channels for solving murder mysteries, such as detectives, for instance. Rest assured, should you solve the mystery, you will be rewarded extravagantly for your efforts. I'm talking cash, money, moolah, health insurance. Best wishes, anonymous party. So that's the letter that you've all received.
I don't think we should do it.
And go ahead and hit the stop recording button. Kyle.
Okay,
This
Garrett,
seems
we're
like
doing.
bait.
I know you just read Save the Cat and you're in the reject the call phase, but we will need you to play ball here a little bit.
All right. I just
So,
want to make. I didn't want to do this, but I'll play along.
You don't like the promise of moolah and health insurance?
I don't like how old they were.
Classic ageist Garrett.
Attached to the letter is an address, an autopsy report on the victims, and a photo of the bodies of 2 handsome podcast hosts. Old as shit and laying dead on the ground.
They're 100 and 101, but they're still sexy.
Yeah.
Like,
Very handsome. The autopsy report reveals that the bodies were untouched with no sign of violence, no wounds. The one terrifying clue, both bodies had their brains smashed from the inside of their skulls somehow. The images of the brains make them look like they practically collapsed or deflated. So they have brains that have just like rotted from the inside out.
And their skull like kind of like caved in
No.
a little bit.
No,
Oh,
this-
sorry.
everything-
The
Everything's
skull
intact.
is normal.
No violence, no wounds, no nothing was inflicted upon
brains
them.
just-
Just their brains crushed.
I think it was a chupacabra.
I think these guys snorted Super Balls and they just bounced around up there.
Oh, and it's like that game where you like try and like
Brick
break the
break.
block. Yeah, brick
Yeah.
break, but with like brains. So brain
Yeah.
break.
Brain break.
Yeah,
Okay.
Super Balls.
Well, you
What's fun
solved
then?
the riddle.
Stop the podcast.
Kyle's like,
Let's
"God
fun
damn
brain
it."
break.
Shit.
We're gonna be
That was
billionaires.
it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
with nothing but this single clue and a dream, you head out to the location of the murder, Podcast Manor. So when you
Is
arrive,
the house called Podcast Manor?
yes, Garrett,
Okay.
you got a fucking problem with that?
No, that was a genuine like.
Good,
Can it be?
good.
Okay.
When do we need to decide whether or not we're what our number is and whether we're lasers or feelings?
Oh shit! I guess we
Yeah, I
could
was gonna
do
say
that.
we haven't.
Let's do it
like,
on our
we
way
can-
while we're driving.
Yeah.
I'd like
let's-
we got Collin's
Yeah,
typewriter business, and that was the
We're
only
driving-
backstory we
that's
got.
all we need to know.
I'm driving. That's it. I'm driving us all to Podcast Manor in the typewriter van. It's a typewriter repair van. It's just a big beat up old piece of shit like 1986 Chevy sort of windowless van. It has it has a spray painted typewriter on the side.
Really?
And it's called Ribbons and Ribbons is the name of the typewriter store. So you all can be in the back. I'm driving down and trying to think about whether or not I feel like being a lasers or a feeling.
Yeah. What's your? Do you guys all want to make that decision here now?
I'm getting slammed back and forth in the side of the van. There's no seatbelts or anything.
No.
Starting this with a concussion.
Oh yeah. Well, we took out all the seats and stuff a while ago. I sit on a bread box in the front. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna be a lasers guy.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go straight down the middle of the road. I would say there's no way that I would run this failing typewriter shop if I didn't have some form of feeling like I felt like a family, like a family
Some sort of
onus.
connection. Yeah.
Some kind of
It's
connection.
emotional.
It's the classic
kind
like
of sentimental.
Hallmark. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save this business.
But I also like to dig into the broken
mess
down
with
little
technical-
clicks and clocks.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say mine's a 3, and I'm a laser feelings, kind
Okay,
of like
so
straight down the middle.
straight down the middle. So you're like pretty good at both.
I'm pretty good at both. Master of none.
Okay. All right. Niall?
I was thinking that I'm going basically like hard laser. I'm gonna go 5.
Okay. So you're kind of min max
Well-
in lasers direction.
Because I feel like I can get very like stunted in emotional situations. So I feel like I'm better off like problem solving than I am like dealing with feelings.
Okay.
So I'm
So
gonna
Niall's
go
getting real.
What number do you think then? Like a
5. I was thinking of 5.
5? Okay. Cool.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. So we get Niall's a 5. We got a 3
Don't
and a
ask me to
5.
talk to anybody, or else it will go badly.
Or it could be really funny.
Yeah.
Jules?
I'm stupid as shit, so I'm a 2 for sure.
Okay. I think, look,
Emotional
I have no
intelligence.
technical
Emotional
know-how.
intelligence.
I go purely on
feeling.
my gut.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Passion.
my other thing. Sorry, I meant to mention this. The other reason I'm going lasers is because I want to try to like base some decision making on trying to remember shit from 300 episodes of this podcast.
Hey,
That makes sense.
Hey,
So
Niall?
my justification is going to be trying to remember like stories from episodes 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
hey Niall, you're gonna really need to tap into that power, buddy. Okay, so we got a 3, a 5, and a 2. Garrett, how do you feel?
So I was thinking about being like a Fabio kind of person, where it's like I'm dumb as shit technically,
a
but
himbo?
Like, so yeah, a
I
himbo,
love
exactly.
I love
yeah.
anytime
Just like
we're-
how you are in real
Yeah,
life.
thank you.
Yeah.
I
Thank
love
you so
anytime
much.
we play a role playing game with Garrett. It's like, okay, so Garrett, what's your character? Okay, first of all, I'm dumb as shit.
I mean,
It's what I know.
I don't know if we've gotten into Tina the Rat Queen on this podcast, but
She's
Garrett had,
definitely been mentioned.
Garrett
Yeah.
had a character on my D&D game called Tina the Rat Queen who just was a druid, fully instinctual, and had a pack of rats that she hung out with. And
She fucked shit up. She was
drank.
dumb as shit, and she loved beer.
yeah, it's a good
Like
character.
the classic D&D character. Anyway,
Cool.
No, I'm gonna go. I think with a 2.
Okay, cool.
I'm
So we
gonna
have
be
2
very
twos.
feelings heavy.
So 2 feelings experts, 1 jack of all trades, and 1 who is a lasers expert. That's honestly,
Sounds like a pretty balanced team.
I think that's a really good team. So here we go.
Here we
When you arrive at the
the
manor,
Jorker.
you're greeted by the Jorker. When you arrive at the manor, you walk through a large ornate wrought gate. The front yard is lavishly decorated with 2 marble fountains. The fountain to your right depicts a stone Bigfoot at its center, who is looking upwards and spraying a stream of water into the air, standing with
where?
one leg daintily lifted into the air.
I think I know.
On what was the question?
When you said it was spraying water, I went from where? And then you said the leg was lifted, and it was like, got it.
Yeah,
Answers
it's taking a
that.
big
Figured
piss.
it out.
And on the left side fountain, the same pose is depicted by a Mothman sculpture.
Like a dog.
They're spraying out of their mouths, Garrett. Do I have to? I'm sorry.
It's a 3-way fountain. It's front, hole, and mouth.
Yeah, there's
Excellent.
Everywhere.
water coming out of the mouth.
My
there's
kind of fountain.
piss water coming out of the front end, and then
They
ass
put
water.
yellow dye.
Hearing that
Yeah.
described as front hole in mouth is really chilling.
Off to the left side of the manor in these two fountains, the gate stretches off for about nearly like a mile. And in that mile of gated area is an orchard, an apple orchard. At the front,
mile-long gate.
it's huge. Yeah, these are wealthy motherfuckers.
True.
These are two wealthy motherfuckers who podcasted their entire lives and made millions of dollars off of
Loved
it.
each other.
Exactly.
But the fence isn't a mile long. The gate is.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess I meant the fence.
It's a mile-long shift. Anytime a car...
Yeah.
You have to wait like 30 minutes to get into the fucking building.
It does auto open and close, but boy, it takes a while.
They're
I'm
just
sorry,
saying, like, we should have made this a sliding gate because the fact that it opens out is just such a pain in the ass.
There's
We
like
have to
big,
clear cut the forest.
like flashing signs like a mile off being like, stop here for gate.
I am sorry. I meant fence. Okay. That was a blunder. I meant fence. And so yeah, there's like an orchard over in that direction. And as you approach the front door, you see that there are huge brass door knockers with the face of the Jersey Devil, and they loom ominously over you.
What season is it? Are the apples
It's
pickable?
gotta be
Are
fall,
they?
right?
I think it's going to be fall because of reason. It's fall.
Okay.
It's fall.
So nice, crisp, delicious
yeah,
apples.
crisp
in
as
season.
fuck.
Love me some
before
Jersey
we,
Devil knockers.
Before we knock on these doors, I'm going to grab my stomach with a little bit of a grumble and sort of look salivatingly over at the apple orchard.
You're going to pant.
Anybody want anybody hungry? Anybody want just a quick bite? I feel like blood sugar is going to be super important before we get in here and start dealing with ghosts and spooky stuff. So does anybody want an apple? I'm going to go grab
Absolutely.
some.
Let's
all take a
pilfer these
45-minute
apples.
real-time break and just go pick apples.
Look, if I've learned anything from watching way too many like TV shows, it's that when you're standing over a dead body, you have to be eating something.
That's what I think too. I think we should all go to the apple orchard first, get a snack, then knock the knockers.
Okay.
You know, that's apparently like a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Like people in morgues and shit working on bite. Like
It's like leaving a sandwich on a
And they
torso.
fucking drip crumbs into the chest cavity of whatever cadaver they're working on.
Drop my fucking lo mein directly into somebody's rib
I mean, a
cage.
meatball sub, and a whole meatball just falls out.
Just
Your
about
mother-
anything
Let me
you
just
could-
fish around in here.
Yeah, just about anything you could eat would probably mesh with the innards.
I paid
of a person.
$9 for this sub. I'm not losing a fucking meatball.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Can I have a flashlight?
Okay, let me establish this now. You guys have flashlights. You also have some basic paranormal investigator equipment. You know, EVP
EVPs?
things.
We got a
and
squawk
whatnot.
box.
Yeah. So you guys would have the basic stuff that you
I
need.
don't trust electronics.
That's fair.
So I am
That's
going
why
to
he's a
tracks.
typewriter.
Yeah, that's why I'm a
Tracks.
typewriter guy. I have a crank flashlight that I don't like batteries really
Okay.
either all that much. So yeah, I crank the flashlight and I
It makes a
am going,
loud as shit noise.
Colin doesn't trust lithium.
no.
I want a spirit box. Can I have a spirit box?
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That was what it was, not squawk box.
So I'm gonna walk towards the orchard.
Okay.
Go
So-
to keep my light on.
As you guys are approaching the orchard, far off in the distance at the tail end of the orchard, you see in the sky, which is cloudy and gray and overcast, you see a red light coming through the clouds. And then suddenly you see a large flaming red orb fly out of the clouds and crash into the back of the orchard.
And I go, that's pretty weird. Let's get these apples. And
Let's just go. That's not our
That's-
wheelhouse.
Look, we're
probably
here.
unrelated.
We're here for two dead old guys. We're not here for crash landing,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck that was.
Hey,
Well, I'm
the
here for
orb, the
apples
police,
now.
surely they know.
Well, okay. So you are going to ignore the crash thing?
Oh, I didn't. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna at least be sniffing around a little bit, but I'm gonna pretend that I do agree. Look, Niall, Jules, Garrett, I do agree that we're here for the old dead guys, but I do want to make sure that if something happens, this place is like burned down or something nefarious happens, we're in here. We're the last like people inside of this compound. I don't want to be blamed for the big fucking flaming orb.
That's
so. I think we should grab our apples and maybe we do like maybe just like one of us does a quick like recon, sort of like stealth sneak up, see if we can get a little like
Feel
glimpse.
like a little once over.
Yeah,
Mind our
exactly.
P's and Q's.
Exactly. Is anybody here specifically good at sneaking and sort of I don't know,
I'm really good at
stealthy
picking
movement?
apples.
You're good at picking apples. Why don't you?
I'll
pick-
do that.
Okay.
I find a bushel
So
on the ground.
There's a very nice wicker basket that you
Nice.
have found as well, and you can
I'm
just
picking apples. Do I need to
shovel
roll for
apples.
that?
Yeah, no, you don't have to roll for that. Are you
Colin,
kidding
I'm just
me?
really good at it.
You're just
Okay.
really good at it.
So I genuinely at work get told that I am like way too quiet for someone my size. Like I sneak up on people really easily. So if you guys are cool with it, maybe I sneak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I do a little creep.
Can
kinda.
I help Garrett sneak up and take a look at the flaming orb crash site by helping to smear mud on his face in a technical and precise way? Kind of like rainbow.
It's very like erotic. It's like Patrick Swayze, like ghost kind of like.
Well, I'm
Okay.
behind you and rubbing it on your face. Instead of standing in the front so I can see, I have my arms around your shoulders and I'm just smearing my muddy hands
Okay, yeah.
all over your fucking face.
First roll of the game, Colin, I would like you to roll a lasers.
Lasers. Do I have any bonuses or a single dice?
I would say it makes sense that you're prepared for this.
I
Like, it's
did
not like
you
you
dunk
guys
my
are-
hands into the mud.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, are you an expert in
No.
sneaking? I think you got 2 here.
2? All right, cool. All right, so I am lasers, which means I try and get less than my number.
You are going to want to get under your number. Yes.
Okay, my number was 3. I rolled a 5 and a 1, so I have a single success.
Okay, so you have a success. Okay, so okay, so that means that you succeed, but it's not perfect. So you reach around Garrett and you begin to smear mud, and one of your fingers just goes directly into Garrett's eye.
Oh, no.
That's
Uh,
okay.
And
That's
Garrett
fine. That's
Garrett,
fine,
it just-
Colin.
immediately on set with some pink eye. And you,
Why is there pink eye
Isn't
bacteria
that-
in the mud?
isn't that a great question? So
That's
yeah,
part of the mystery now.
You
Yeah.
accidentally afflicted Garrett with a little bit of pink eye in his right eye, but
it
otherwise
before.
he
No
has
biggie.
he has mud on his face now.
Cool. And you get plus
Um,
1 dice, technically, right?
Technically, yeah. So if you are going to do something, the next thing that you do in this scenario, I will give you plus 1 die to your roll because he helped you.
Okay.
So yeah. So you guys are sneaking into the orchard. Am I understanding this correctly? And
Garrett
Jules is
is.
picking apples.
I'm picking out.
Jules is picking apples. Colin, I think, was
I'm keeping an eye
applying
on
the
you,
mud
but
to
I'm going
me.
to stay back and let Garrett go do this.
and are you going
I'm
with
gonna
them or
sneak.
I think I'm kind of in the middle because like I don't want to leave Jules alone, but I also am kind of curious about this thing, so I'm kind of like hanging around Jules,
Watching.
but like watching what's going on.
Okay.
Going to absolute town on an apple.
Okay, so you two are sneaking into the area, and as you get closer to the site of where whatever this thing was fell, you see what appears to be a large red glowing orb that has crashed into the trees. A thick mist is billowing out from the crash site around the orb, and as you approach, you notice a metallic smell in the air. A nearby tree has a part of the orb sort of lodging into it where it crashed, and the tree is like split at its center. It's not like fallen over, but it's kind of cracked in the center of the tree, and it's kind of at an angle, hanging at a precarious angle. And there is a pre-existing hole in the tree, and coming out of that hole is this black ooze that is dripping from it. And even stranger still, as you stare at this scene before you, the orb and the crash, it seems to occasionally blink in and out of reality in milliseconds, hissing like TV static when it does. What you gonna do?
So Garrett's the only one that sees this. This is the person who went forward a little ways, right?
I thought you were with him.
I don't want to get close. He's doing
Okay.
a little
So,
sneakiness. up.
so Garrett, this is what you see.
Gonna turn back around, head back to the orchard. No, I'm kidding. I'm just,
Feels like
I was gonna be like, oh,
pretty
fuck.
weird.
Ah, it's strange.
wow, huh? Well, anyway,
Nothing I can do about this.
not why I'm here.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna try and can I like identify the smell at all? Like,
You can't identify the smell, but you can. It feels familiar. The smell is. It's feel like a few years ago you smelled this before.
Specifically a few years ago, huh?
A smell that you've smelled.
hmm. I guess I'm gonna try and look at the ooze that's coming out
Okay.
of the tree.
Okay, yeah. So you're investigating the tree and the ooze that's coming out of it.
Not gonna touch it. Just
Sure.
look
I was gonna
and
say, I
getting-
think if I remember correctly, don't stick your hand in that tree because I think I lost an arm in a similar
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
When you get up to the tree and you see the ooze coming out of it, you're close enough now that you can see that there is something in the tree. There is something in the tree, the hole in the tree, that seems to be kind of frantically moving. And as you're close to the tree, you can also hear what sounds like coming from you can't tell where it's coming from, but you can hear the sound of a muffled voice that sounds familiar. But again, you can't pinpoint what that voice is or where it's coming from.
Okay. I am a naturally curious person, but I'm thinking of what I would do. There's no way I'm getting any closer. I'm going back to Collin and Jules and Niall and letting them know what's going on.
Okay.
That there's something scrabbling around in the tree by the
Okay.
thing that fell down, and I don't necessarily want to fuck with it.
Okay, as you're about to turn around, you notice again that the entire scene, the orb, the ooze, and whatever's in the tree, you see it blink a couple times and then come back into existence.
So, do you tell us all about this? What's going on?
Is it too far for me to walk back, or can I like yell at them and be like, I think you guys should like come take a look at this?
You can, hey, we don't yeah.
I would say I see Garrett hesitating in front of the crash site, and Garrett, you feel zzz in your pocket,
Yeah.
and when you look at your phone, it just says "you good," and it's in our group text thread, so everyone can see it.
I'm gonna send back. I don't know. You guys should come here.
Okay.
Pics ? Is the response.
I'm gonna send Collin a picture of my face.
You
Kind of
get-
quizzical, like, yeah, man,
here you go.
for sure.
You just get back a sorry about the eye sideways smiling face.
Okay, so you all get a text from Garrett telling you to come check out this thing. Do you all join him then?
Yeah, I would go.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody joins up with Garrett, and you see the exact same thing he does. And occasionally, this whole scene is blinking, just in and out of existence, and the tree is almost just like cracked in half, and there is something in this hole, and you can hear the muffled voice.
You guys, there's something in the hole.
I think what I want to do is I want to pitch to the group. I want to take an apple and not try to hit the hole, but try to hit like around the hole on the tree to kind of like shake it and see if it
Ooh.
like whatever is in there will come out.
Okay,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna try to.
You're gonna
try to-
Pokemon Snap it.
Yeah, I'm gonna Pokemon Snap it effectively.
Go ahead and make a lasers roll.
Okay. Let's see.
So you're a 5, and you want to roll under that for a
I
success.
don't think
and-
I'm prepared.
I'm
No.
actually going to say, I think I did a really good job picking the apples.
Mhm.
So they're all really big, juicy,
Okay. So are you-
perfectly like softball sized apples,
okay. I would say,
which I think should help.
yeah, I would say Jules helped you prepare for that one. So go ahead and roll 2.
I'm doing the thing from Hot Rod where he's like, the guy is like caressing his arm,
Yeah.
like, to get
Yeah.
your aim right.
So we got a 6 and a 4. So that's
Okay, so that's one success.
one success.
Okay. So you take a particularly big, juicy apple and you throw it right at the tree, right?
Yeah.
You manage to hit the tree, but not in the hole or anything. You hit it, and you hit it just right that you hear a loud creaking sound.
Oh.
And the tree begins to snap and fall down. And the tree falls and crashes onto the ground. And as it does, you see, come tumbling out of the hole in the tree, a severed human limb. And this severed human limb is clutching something in its hand and like frantically like wriggling around.
Is this my arm from 3 years ago?
I have no idea,
Oh my god.
but it's holding something in its hand.
So I'm gonna go inspect the hand.
Yeah, it's a hand. It's holding a metal disc, like a small metal disc, smaller than a frisbee.
Colin's gonna take Collin. I'm gonna take my. I'm gonna take my. I have a cardigan on because I'm a cardigan guy. I'm gonna take my cardigan off. Leave my t-shirt on. I'm gonna wrap the cardigan around the nub end of. I don't want to touch the arm, but I want to be able to pick it up so we can see the disc and it's like riding around. So I'm gonna wrap my cardigan around the base of the arm, holding the cardigan cloth.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold the arm up.
So you have a severed human limb like ice cream cone with a cardigan. Like you're kind of like turning it into like a little I don't know, a wrap.
Yeah, I'm holding it away from me
like a
it
pita.
smells.
It's
Not
like,
an ice cream
it's like
cone,
a chicken
pita.
Caesar wrap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a wrap. Sorry, not an ice. I don't know why my first pull was an ice cream cone.
Yeah,
but
it's a little more of a burrito kind of.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
you
like
look
burrito.
at Niall's arms and you want to lick them. That's basically.
So you see that it's holding in its hand this metal disc, and there's like a rune or some sort of symbol etched into the disc, but it doesn't look like anything you recognize. It's something you've never seen before. But as you're wrapping it up and taking this arm with the disc, you hear a screeching sound come from behind where the tree collapsed, and bursting out from the fog is the Flatwoods Monster.
Oh shit!
No way. Okay.
And she barrels down on you guys. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to grab the disc real quick and then run.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to make a lasers roll.
Do you want us to all say? Do you want to do this one at a time? How we react in the split second?
Sure. Yeah. How's everybody reacting to this?
So you're running.
I'm grabbing the disc and then running.
You're grabbing this. So I'm holding the arm. You're trying to rip the disc out of the hand of the arm that I'm holding wrapped in cloth.
I guess I don't necessarily need.
No.
that.
Yeah.
That was
wasn't
your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look,
that was my
call.
gut reaction.
cool. I'm going to table my reaction until I can process and whether or not Niall successfully removes the disc in the arm. I'd say
Okay, yeah.
I'm frozen for a second as Niall's trying to rip
Go
the
ahead
disc
and
out of the
let's
arm.
resolve that, Niall. So I think, though, that you're just kind of rolling one die here, right? Like,
Yeah, I think this is kind of. I'm not prepared, and I'm not an expert at ripping discs out of disembodied hands. So
Yeah.
2.
Cool. You grab that disc and you just book it. So you successfully managed to do that. And you just as you book it, the Flatwoods Monster swipes at you and misses you.
Fantastic.
Shit. So Niall grabs the disc, yanks it, and starts to run. Niall's right next to me. So the Flatwood Monster takes a big swipe, and so I'm standing right next to the Flatwoods Monster. And as somebody who's less versed in the occult and the surreal, what is the Flatwood Monster's vibe?
If you turn around and look at that, that's what the Flatwoods Monster looks like.
I
Niall has a poster.
got a lot of
visual
good,
aids.
like,
It's got like a spade for a head, and it's wearing sort of like an exosuit sort of thing. It's alien in looking, but it could be a crypt. It's not sure what it is, but it's it's like 8 feet tall, and it's got these claws.
Gotcha. I am going to pull on a very real thing that I actually did for multiple years, and my taekwondo from when I was 7 to 9 kicks in, and I'm going to try and leg sweep the monster as it's kind of off balance from trying to slash at Niall. So my first, I'm going to dip down to one knee, and I'm going to do a spinning full 360 kind of leg sweep.
Okay, so you grew up doing that. That's the thing. I'm going to go
How
ahead.
often in your day to day would you say that kicks in for you?
Oh, it doesn't often, but when I need it to kick in,
It
that's
kicks
the
the
thing.
fuck in.
It kicks.
It's like riding a bike.
Look, I was a brown belt at Taekwondo in Columbus, Indiana.
Okay,
that's
I
good.
have done
Then-
it very real in a real sense.
Tell you what, I think you're not only prepared, but you're an expert. Go ahead and roll 3 dice.
that is what that sounds like. to me.
Typewriter
And I'm assuming
repairman,
this is a
martial artist.
Yeah, this will be a lasers roll.
Ladies, not single. All right. I had a 6, which is an over, a 5, which is a match, and then an under. So I have 2 successes,
Aren't you
including.
a 3?
Oh yes, no. I'm
So
trying
you
to
have a
roll under.
laser feeling success.
I have 1 laser feeling success, but only a single success out of 3 dice.
Okay, so you get to ask me something.
Okay. My question is going to be, because I don't know much about the Flatwoods Monster. Is this a murderous, violent creature, or is there a chance it can be scared away from us?
All indications seem to suggest that it will attack things.
Okay.
It will attack. So that's a good question, but here's the thing. You go to sweep its legs.
Yeah.
and you connect with it, and it's like you're connecting with water.
Oh, okay.
And as you connect with it, the crash site, the Flatwoods Monster, all of it just flickers out of existence.
Shit.
Interesting.
I stand up slowly and look over as Niall just continues to
Yeah, I'm still. I did not notice this. I'm still booking it away.
I look over to Jules and Garrett with my hand up like, did I hit it?
Dude, I think you killed it. I think that thing
was
is fucking dead. That was awesome.
I've never seen you do that before. You can kill someone with your kicks?
I did Taekwondo a little bit when I was younger, so
Wow.
it just kind of it was like instinct.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
It was pretty,
scared of your legs.
yeah, no, it's not. It's
you need
nothing.
to get those things registered, bud.
Yeah.
It's nothing. I start to blush and I'm kind of smiling. And I'm sort of like rubbing my leg that like hit the monster and thinking about whether or not I'm ever gonna wash it again.
The thing you got to know about Collin is his legs are very long.
That's true.
in IRL. So
For
you
real,
know
though.
they're
Great for
very,
kicking.
very
Lot of
deadly.
Perfect
reach.
kicking
Yeah.
legs.
I have 34-inch length in my pants.
Thank you for knowing that right off
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
bat.
Out of my pants.
Yeah, you solved my Flatwoods Monster puzzle. Yeah, and now you have this disc, this small disc.
Well,
with
Niall
a,
has it about 20
sorry,
feet
yeah,
that way.
Niall has it and he's running away with
Yeah.
it. And
Does the arm still exist?
no? It's gone.
Damn it.
I put my
Oh,
card
yeah.
But the
back
disc
on.
still exists.
But the disc
Yes.
is still there. Okay.
The disc is still there.
Okay.
I was gonna do a fun bit.
And are
with
my
the
apples
arm,
still here?
But
Yeah, the
Yeah.
orchard's real.
I have my arms, like this whole time, I'm like in a hug
Jules is-
shape holding a giant
Yes.
basket of apples.
You have a basket
That's
of apples.
I just want
Absolutely.
to make sure everyone knows the apples
I'm gonna
are
take
in
an apple
play.
and start eating an apple, and I'm gonna
Help yourself.
these are great pick choices.
Thank you. I pride
Great
myself.
produce eye.
Ah, golden crisp.
in the story, I'm gonna be like, I was gonna pick up the arm and like wiggle it at you to try and fuck with you, but you know it's gone. So
No,
Too
it's
late.
gone. I'm sorry.
I think about now I'm realizing no one is running with me.
You kind of look around.
And I like slow down, but I'm still kind of running and look around and nothing's chasing me. So I try to like play it off really cool. And I'm just like looking up at the tree and kind of look at some apples and I'm looking at one and I'm like, oh, no one's, I thought we were leaving, guys.
hey, did you see a good apple?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got,
I was trying to take a drink once you said that.
I think there are pink ladies over here.
Jesus Christ. See any good apples over there?
But yeah, you guys have found
That was
a disc.
genuine too. That wasn't me
That's-
trying to be mean. That was like a hey, apples.
Is
Yeah.
there still the crash site? Like, is the tree still broken? The thing, or does it just look like a normal
sorry,
piece?
It like reverts back.
Okay.
It's no longer broken. It's just
I'm gonna go knock
normal.
on the tree that fell over.
An apple
Give it a
nothing
little-
happens.
Okay, cool. I think we should get inside.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly look at the disc. Do I recognize anything about this disc?
oh, the
Dave
only
and Buster's.
the only thing that you can really determine about the disc is that it has symbols on it that make no sense to you,
Okay. And
and it's like metal.
smaller than a frisbee.
So yeah, it's like about this big, like a hockey puck, like slightly larger than a hockey puck.
Okay.
My minor in college was linguistics. Can I try and see if I recognize any of the symbols?
Go ahead and make a feelings roll for me.
okay.
So remember, you're
Would
trying to.
Am I
would say-
prepared there since
I would
had
say
the
you roll
minor?
all three. You're
An
prepared
okay.
and your
It's
expertise.
also the size of a hockey puck, and you're an expert in hockey.
hockey. That's
Yeah,
true.
I'm a
Well, I
hockey
would just.
boy.
I'm giving you expertise just because this is something that you put time into studying.
Mhm.
So I think that you could make an
So
argument.
feelings I want over my number.
You want over your number 2.
Okay. I got a 1, a 3, and a 5.
Okay.
So 2 successes.
So that's a good success. So basically, what you're looking at this disc, and you look at it, and here's what you determine. You determine that it appears to almost be in the pattern of like some sort of language, but it is no known language on Earth.
Okay. I'm going to communicate to them, obviously.
Yeah,
That,
you tell them.
hey, it's definitely like written like it's a sentence or that there's something written on here. No idea where it's from.
Okay, so let's go check out these dead bodies.
Cool. Well, let me just also
They've
clarify.
they've left them
they're-
sitting in the
No, I
middle.
figured.
the bodies are not in there anymore.
There's been a full autopsy, but they left.
Yeah,
the bodies.
We specifically asked for them to be put back.
Oh,
Because it
yes.
helps the
Open the
investigation.
mansion door and it's just like, oh God.
Jesus.
Before we go inside, I do have an intuition here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to the Mothman fountain that's spitting water out of its mouth, and I'm going to take my finger. I'm going to try and plug the hole.
Okay. You plug the hole. Which hole?
Front hole or
Front
mouth
hole or back hole?
Mouth hole.
Mouth hole.
Okay.
Okay. So you plug the front. The
I'm going
mouth
for the
hole.
other holes.
You plug
Yeah,
the
we
mouth
all
hole.
get in there and plug all.
Everyone plug a hole.
Yeah.
Cover
Yeah,
my
I
mouth.
mean, nothing happens, but so you like as you plug one hole, it sprays out harder out of the other holes. So like for a second, the butt and penis hole are like spraying extra hard. But
Please don't call it a penis. Call it front.
Sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry, the front hole. However, as you approach this fountain, you hear a whispering in your mind. But you don't, it doesn't sound like language. You're not sure. It's like a distant whispering in your mind.
Just Collin or everybody?
Everybody who gets near this thing hears this.
Well, we're all in there
We're
plugging
all
holes.
So you're all there
hole,
plugging
yeah, so-
holes. And
So
as
we
you're
all hear
plugging
it.
holes, you're like, I'm just trying to get some good hole plugs in, but there's a whispering
There's
going
a
on in my
whispering.
ears.
I can't plug this hole with all this fucking noise. You guys gotta stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just hear a whispering. It's
in my
strange.
ear.
But nothing happens to the fountain when you like fuck with it.
Does anybody else hear things in there? So we all hear stuff in our heads. You all hearing it consistently as you're plugging holes, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna take like 5 steps away from the fountain. Do I still hear the whispering?
You take a few steps away and it starts to get more distant.
Huh.
Colin, can you kick it with your powerful legs?
I can do you one better, and I go get in the car and I run it at the I attempt to drive the
Hell yeah.
vehicle into the moth.
Is
Is
this-
there-
You gotta wait for the mile-long gate to open first.
Colin's gone for a solid like 45 minutes.
We're all just standing.
is
by
there
the
a
fountain.
large? Is there like a stone circle where I wouldn't be able to drive my van into the fountain, or is it more
I
just
mean,
like sitting?
You could if you wanted to.
I'm just imagining this thing that's spewing water into nothing. There's no pool around it or anything. It's just fucking-
Yeah, this is actually the lawn sprinkler.
That was actually just one of Colin's patented bits.
Getting
I can't
higher.
I can't break. This is my only vehicle that I have access to, and I need it just in case somebody needs a repair done on one of their typewriters, which hasn't happened in months.
Getting
but just in
hired to
case.
do an investigation and instantly
Just
causing
destroying
major property damage.
We just like showed up, stole their apples, wrecked their fountain, haven't even knocked on the door yet.
Let's go. Let's knock the knockers. Though. I was curious
But
if they had anything.
I want to check one thing. I want to go
Yeah.
over and plug the hole on Bigfoot. Do I hear the same thing?
It's the same thing. The closer you get to the Bigfoot statue,
Which
you
hole?
hear.
I'm going hole.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the same thing. You like get close to it, you hear a whispering in your head. As you step away from it, it goes away.
All right, let's go knock
Okay.
on the knockers.
Okay, so
Gladly.
you go and you knock on the knockers, and as you do, the door just pushes open,
Okay.
and you enter into a dusty old foyer. There's nobody there. It just opens. So you enter into this dusty old foyer, in this mansion. Now there is a staircase on the right-hand side of the foyer. There is also a doorway on the right-hand side into what appears to be a kitchen. There's a doorway on the left-hand side that seems to go into a living room. And then there is a hall door that like is straight ahead of you. And you can see at the end of the hall, there's another door down there as well. And a door on the left-hand side of that hallway.
So this is just like it's just like a regular mansion, not like a weird architectural thing.
No,
It's
this is your classic mansion, haunted manor. Picture Clue the movie.
I step
I
into
was
this,
actually
it's
going to ask on the scale on the Clue scale, how much is it? Like?
It's a lot like Clue.
It's like
And there's even a portrait on the left-hand side opposite of the staircase of the owners of the mansion.
When you say it's dusty,
Mhm.
may I just ask, does it seem like many years of accumulated dust, or it's
No.
like these guys died, so the house has been in disuse?
It's
kind
more
of
like
dust?
these guys died and so the house has been in disuse. And yeah, there's a portrait on one side and then these doorways on every other side and the staircase. So what would you guys like to do?
I would like to just kind of look around and assess and see if I see anything where it seems like the dust has been disturbed in some way. If I notice
Smart.
anything like that.
you don't really notice anything in the foyer like that. I mean, you can kind of see that like the floor isn't like people are still walking around, but like the portrait's dusty, the banister's a little dusty going up to the second floor, but you don't really notice anything that suggests that there's been some weird activity.
Okay.
So I think I want to like. I'm just going to say to the group, I feel like normally when people do these kinds of investigations, we should go to where the bodies were found first. So do we want to just go to where they were found dead?
You would know that the bodies were found in the dining room.
Okay.
I forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
I think it makes sense.
But yeah, dining room.
How about this? Let's put the apples in the kitchen because they're food. And
I
what
hug
is-
the apples really tight, and I
Well-
get very defensive.
Oh, do you want to bring
at
them
the
with
idea of
us?
being separated. I think I'm going to bring them.
Oh, okay. No,
if
I was
our
just.
blood sugar dips, do you think we're going to have time to
That's
get
true.
back to the
That's
kitchen?
true. That's a good idea.
To be fair, we did pick the apples specifically to eat over a dead body, but
Yes.
I have been told that the dead bodies are no longer here, which is frankly frustrating to me.
I'm disappointed too.
But
I'm
let's
sorry.
we'll eat them over where the dead bodies were and
God.
pretend. Maybe one of you guys can lay down on the floor.
I wanted to defile a corpse tonight.
Oh my God.
So,
Sure, let's head over.
Loathsome dung eater.
Let's head over to the. Let's head over to the dead body room.
Yeah, so we're
Fine
gonna go
with
to the
that.
dining room.
Okay, so you have to. So you know that the dining room is through the kitchen. So
That
first,
seems very bad for guests, but I'll allow it. Guests shouldn't
what
have
kind
to
of
go
layout
through
is this?
through the kitchen to get to the
This
dining room. It should be the opposite.
is the wonky layout of two millionaire.
They were eccentric
eccentric
hosts.
podcast hosts, who ended up
Who could-
living together.
Who could picture such a thing?
yeah.
Two
Yeah.
podcast hosts that are roommates. That would be crazy.
That'd be fucked up.
Oh my God.
So
I've never lived with anyone I did a podcast with.
No way.
Not once.
So in the kitchen, you find the typical accoutrement you would expect of a kitchen owned by people who became obscenely wealthy from podcasting. There's a nice sink, a fridge.
There's Blue Apron boxes in the corner.
Yeah.
I would assume there's one of those big, like, that you see in movies that's like gold and silver espresso machines.
Yes.
Where it's like there's way too many tubes.
Yes.
You don't know what they all do.
Absolutely, that's there. There's an island that has like it's got like a second sink for whatever reason. There's an oven.
I'm gonna open the fridge.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Noticeably, the only sound you hear in this room is the low humming coming from the fridge. So,
It's on.
but all the kitchen stuff is there, but the fridge is on. And so you go to open the fridge. Is that correct?
I do open the fridge.
Okay,
I'm just gonna go preheat the oven.
okay.
To
Well, I
400.
was I was legitimately looking for butter. I might make some baked apples.
I was gonna say we got all these
That's a
apples. Let's
great
make
idea.
a cobbler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that might be a good
I
idea.
start opening drawers looking for a peeler.
You find one.
I've
You
got a
find
peeler.
one. Here's what you find when you open the fridge, Colin.
Okay. Open the
You
fridge.
find kind of generic stuff you would keep in a fridge, including butter. You also find slices of cold leftover pizza, a bottle of ranch. And
My
I
ears perk up.
I am not saying the contents out loud. I get to choose whether I tell you this is right.
Colin walks into the fridge, a bottle of ranch, slices of pizza.
Garrett walked in this room and the hair on his arms stood up
Colin
because
is
he
like-
knew there was ranch nearby.
Colin's pushing the ranch like to the back of the fridge. Like I can't let him see it.
And also noticeably leftover a fast food carton.
Oh. Do I recognize? I've lived in the same city. Do I recognize?
It's, let's say Culver's.
Culver's. Okay.
It's from Culver's.
It's from Culver's. If there's butter, I'm gonna remove the butter.
Yeah, you got butter.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna remove the butter and I'm gonna throw it over to. Jules, think fast. I'm
And
gonna-
I catch it expertly.
You sure?
I catch it with no problem.
Wow, you just get to say that. You don't have to roll. It's awesome. You're just gonna say,
I'm
"I'll do it
holding, I'm
well."
still
If
hugging
I-
my basket of apples actually, so I catch it in my teeth.
if I have to make you guys roll for every silly thing that you do, we will be here for so long.
And
So
I catch it Airbud
I'm
style
gonna
in my
say,
teeth.
Yeah, I think that is. I accept that.
I am gonna roll to preheat the oven though.
Okay, so you roll
You fuck it up
successfully.
real bad.
You
It just
The house is on
explodes.
fire instantly.
Look, I think Jules and I sit and we'll make the baked apples,
Absolutely.
and then Garrett and Niall maybe go take a look at where we should split. We should split
I'm
up.
slamming the ranch.
I have not. I specifically made a point not to tell you that there's ranch. I actually closed it and I said, sorry, Garrett, no ranch.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. It sucks, buddy.
Okay.
Oh man.
No ranch to
Burst
dip
into
your apples
tears.
in. That were
And your face is still covered in mud, so you just got wet mud
Like
dripping.
my mascara's running.
So yeah, I mean, you're all doing this shit in the kitchen.
How many spit takes are we gonna have on this one episode?
And yeah, you successfully do all the things you just described. Preheat the oven for whatever reason. You bake some
baking
apples. You bake
apples.
some apples. Wonderful. So you spend
Weep openly.
you spend a good like hour doing all this. And
No, Garrett. Meanwhile, Garrett and I are gonna go in the
Yeah,
dining room.
yeah.
Okay.
We're
Jules-
split apart.
Jules and I
I'm
are cooking.
going to argue. I am a professional baker, and I think if I were to make baked apples, they would have a healing property to them. and that will come in handy later.
We may have to roll for that later. Then
This
if
is some
you-
Breath of the Wild shit.
Okay.
I baked the apple and that imbued it with a healing.
plus
Okay,
2.
cool. Okay, so people are investigating the dining room.
Yeah.
Or more honestly, more accurately, the dining hall, because these were wealthy motherfuckers from their podcast.
Is there like an ornate grandfather clock on one side?
Yes, but I was going to describe this place also for you.
I want us to ask
No,
yes
this
or
is-
no question.
I did that for a reason. 'Cause I'm
Is
trying to
there
figure out
a
if this is the same
table?
house from a previous Campfire Stories.
So the dining hall looks like something out of a movie in which rich people would have a dining hall. I'm saying it's like crazy. It's got like an ornate dining table that stretches across the length of the hall, seemingly to fit dozens of guests. Portraits line the walls of the hall as well, but not of people. These are portraits of cryptozoological and alien creatures. The Mothman, Bigfoot, the Loveland Frogman, the Michigan Dogman, the Flatwoods Monster, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. All beautifully depicted in paintings, looking down at you. Not menacing, but their gazes do not necessarily put you at ease. At the far end of the dining hall opposite you, there are 2 doors. One to the left side of the room, another at the very back that seems to be a door to the backyard. And as you enter the dining hall, you see that there is a young man in a nice button-up, sitting idly at the end of the table, staring at his cell phone. And he does not look up or even seem to notice you as you enter. If only we spent less time with our phones and more time with our friends and family these days, but alas. So
Because you be on that phone.
so that's what you see in here.
So I'm gonna kind of like lean over to Garrett and whisper like, I didn't think anyone would be here.
I don't think anyone should be here.
Do you wanna like you're sneaky, right? Do you want to try to pounce this motherfucker?
As you two are huddling up and talking to each other, you hear a third voice right next to you say, "I'm just leaving." And you look up, and the man who is sitting at the end of the table is right next to you.
Then go.
Hey,
Get the
Hey.
fuck out.
I go. Hey. Hi, we're Ghostbusters
Hey.
2,
Oh,
the movie The Ride.
another paranormal investigation team. Okay, cool.
Did you receive a spooky letter with an autopsy report and a what directions? Whatever the fuck else was in that
Oh.
spooky letter?
Now recounts it flawlessly.
Yeah.
He kind of like looks a little confused for a second, and he goes, no, I didn't. I'm so technically I was the maid here, but my services are no longer needed. Somebody else is going to move in and take this place over. But I just came to grab some of my stuff and head on out. So,
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions for you?
oh, geez. I mean, sure.
Did you have to wear the outfit?
Yes. Only I had well, not this one. The one that they had me wear was sluttier.
Okay, so you were like the diversity hire.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure.
I don't know what to ask after that.
This guy is noticeably like sweaty and pale.
So did you find the bodies?
He quietly nods and he says, "Yes, I was the one who reported this. And look, before you start, throwing around accusations, I know the typical thing about like, oh, the maid, the butler did it. But no, I mean, these guys were awesome. They treated me great. I had a good time here, and I'm sad that they're dead. But also, like, there's a lot of reporting on these guys, but they were like 100 years old, so like, they had a good full life.
But you do have to admit that their brains were like scrambled from the inside.
Oh,
That's
really?
strange. Oh, you don't know that. Never mind.
Oh, that's pretty
So
weird.
Their brains were
this is
scrambled
like
from
when
the
you
inside.
like call an Uber, you're not supposed to say your name. You're supposed to have them say your name to you. You shouldn't be leading with the information when you're trying to ask someone a question.
You're baking apples.
That's
right
so
now.
true. I don't know.
From the
what's going
kitchen,
on.
you hear, "Let's some more."
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna elbow the guy in the ribs and be like, I think it was bad shrimp.
You think bad shrimp can do that to people's brains?
I
You're
know
telling me
it.
shrimp
I
fried
know
these
it.
brains?
So is there okay? Did you know leading up to the time of the death? Did
Right.
you notice any strange goings on?
Oh.
Any?
So much. Are you kidding me? Oh, have they not told you? I mean, this place is haunted. Aliens come here. All kinds of shit. Things creeping around in the night. It's an endless horror show of the paranormal and the extraterrestrial.
Did you ever see anyone making a line of Super Bowls as if to maybe partake in snorting them?
No one else was here for this bit, Niall.
Didn't I say this on the podcast?
I thought that was before.
No.
I'm
Was
sure-
it?
I think it was
It was
on.
about the brains deflating.
Yeah.
So it had
Okay,
to
yeah,
so
it
be,
was on
right?
the show. Yeah, I got really scared there for a second.
I actually love the idea that it's just that Niall's obsessed with Super Bowls.
The idea of snorting Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He looks very confused at this comment. He says, "No,
Have like normal sized nostrils. Couldn't
no.
get them
When,
up there.
Look, when I found them, they were just collapsed in their chairs at the dining table. They were having dinner like they normally do, getting together to discuss the next topic of their episodes. But no, I genuinely don't like. There's so many paranormal happenings around here, but I never saw what did this or how it happened. I just found them. He does now. He puts a hand on both your shoulders and he looks at you and goes, "As far as I'm concerned, the scariest places in this place that you should probably just avoid outright, I would say watch out for the basement and the room at the very end of the foyer. Those rooms are fucked up, all right? So just watch out for those."
Now you know that we're going to go directly to those right now,
I
right?
was gonna say, I'm gonna go. We're going to the basement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
But
Well,
Why?
is there anything else that we should just know before? I realize you want to leave, and this is probably a traumatic event for you and everything. But like, any parting words that might help a young paranormal investigators team known as Ghostbusters 2, the movie The Ride?
he pauses and he puts like a thoughtful finger to his chin. And I need you to make a feelings roll.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh,
So good at this. I don't have expertise here, and I'm not prepared. So I guess I'm just doing one.
I mean, would you? Yeah, I guess it would be a 1. But like, are you prepared in the case that like you came here specifically to investigate with your paranormal team? Like, you're kind
But
of.
I guess I'm prepared for that. Yeah,
You're kind of prepared, so I'd say
I
2.
didn't know what I'm rolling.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead and roll
hyping
2.
Niall up, just like yeah, man.
3 and a 1.
Okay, so no successes, right?
I'm a 5, so I got under both of those.
Yeah, and
but-
that's for
That's
lasers.
for- yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
so I have to
So-
get higher than
You have to get
6,
higher
yeah.
than
So no
yeah. Okay,
successes.
so no successes. He puts the thoughtful finger to his chin. He thinks for a second, and then he looks at you and goes, "Nah," and then he walks out. So
So he walks into the
Pretty cool
kitchen
guy.
while we're
he
cooking
does.
baked
He does
apples.
in fact walk into the kitchen.
I am slicing apples with a knife, and
And I go, hey, I just found these apples.
I go,
We brought these.
These are mine from home.
he looks at you and he goes, I wasn't going to. You're good.
Oh,
who?
cool.
Wait, who?
I definitely
Niall?
stole these then.
Niall Garrett, are you still alive?
Yeah, we're good.
Who's this? What?
Yeah.
Hi, who?
Hey,
who are
what's
you?
up? I was the mate. My name's Bert.
He was there.
Your name's
Oh,
Bert
so you're like a
Cafe
diversity hire.
Yes, I'm a diversity hire. I have to wear a much sexier, sluttier outfit than the one you see me currently wearing. And I'm no longer a client here, so or they're no longer they're dead, so they're not my client.
So then, why were you here tonight?
to
I'm
show hole.
I was just picking up my old stuff. I had to pick up my. I'm gonna have a new client soon, so I just came to pick up my my dusting tools and my.
Did you not hear us come in and bang around in the?
Have you seen
Kitchen?
how big this mansion is? No, I didn't.
We
hear
were in the
you.
room right next to you. Though.
I thought maybe the kitchen maid was
Okay.
coming through.
Okay.
I'm gonna
No, I-
I'm gonna squint my eyes at him and just say, you know what? Actually, why don't you come with us? You know this area better than we do.
Yeah, you
we
can help
don't
us
know
out.
the house.
Okay, I kind of gotta go. But tell you what. Why don't you roll for feelings now?
Okay, gotcha.
And you can do.
Two?
You can roll 2.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do 2. I'm stepping closer to him, holding the apple knife and an apple and like a slice of apple in one hand, and then I'm just squinting at him.
Are me and Niall in here
I'm chopping
now,
really
or are we
aggressive.
still?
No,
You
we're
guys
still
are
in
still in the
dining
dining hall.
I'm
Okay.
still chopping, and I'm chopping like
Do
really.
I need to get
threatening
over my numbers?
aggressively.
Correct.
Yes.
6 and a 4. My number's a 3. It's a double success.
Oh, okay. He goes. He puts a finger to his chin thoughtfully. He goes, "Tell you what, I'll tell you something. Let me give you a piece of information because I do have to go. But let me just tell you something that I noticed that I don't know if it's relevant, but maybe it will be. A lot of the things, the paranormal things that are happening here, seem to almost come into being suddenly. Rooms coming out of nowhere. That room at the end of the hall that I told the guys in the other room to watch out for, that shit just suddenly existed one day. I have no idea where it came from. So there's something weird going on here that I can't explain. And I would say maybe a year ago, there was no paranormal stuff going on in this mansion at all. I don't know what happened. But frankly, I don't want to stick around for it anymore. So you guys get back to your business. You do what you do best. That's good. I don't really want to be around with all the ghosts and aliens and cryptids and stuff. So hopefully that helps.
Can we get your number just in case there's something else that we need to like
I
ask?
don't have a cell phone.
You don't have a cell phone.
I don't have a way of contact. So best of luck. I'll see y'all later.
As he
man's
as he
off the
leaves,
grid.
It's too bad the 2 guys who saw him using his cell phone aren't in the room with us right now, so we can't call him on that.
He just doesn't like Collin's vibes. He's like, I'm not gonna give this guy.
Okay,
my
I don't like
fucking
his
number.
vibe either. I watch him go, but I squint. while he walks.
I'm chopping way harder.
He
now. I'm
starts
pissed.
walking out and then he leans back and he's like, oh, and one thing that is maybe important to you guys is I do know that the owners of the mansion, they liked esoterica and they kind of like to hide stuff in weird places sometimes. So I would keep an eye out for that maybe because maybe there's a clue hidden somewhere.
Hey, did you guys kick that slutty maid out yet?
He's like, bye, and he's gone. He's just gone.
So I want to real quick before I leave this dining hall, I want to check and inspect the grandfather clock for like hidden stuff.
Okay. You go to inspect the grandfather clock, and you're running your hands up and down that thing like you're patting it down. You're looking through it, and as you are patting it down, you catch a glint because you're near the paintings.
Mm-hmm.
You catch a glint of red coming from the Flatwoods Monster painting.
Okay. I go, hey Garrett, let's come help me with this. And
Now, here's the thing: the paintings are well above your reach, but you might be able to stack on top of each other to try and reach it.
could I use like a chair, or would I need?
You might need a little bit more of a boost than a chair. This is a big ass hall.
All right. So Garrett, I think it's easier if you get on my shoulders.
Okay. Scrabble on up, yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna use a chair to help him get up onto my shoulders. And I want Garrett to, hey, I saw something behind the Flatwoods Monster painting. Can you just check this out? There's something red that I saw.
Okay, so if you're going to do this, I'm going to need you, Niall, to make a lasers roll. And I think because you're working on it together, you can get help from Garrett.
Okay.
So let's give you 2 dice. So you need to roll below.
So I got a double success, 4 and 1.
Okay, cool. So with these, you get Garrett up onto your shoulders, hoist him up over onto the chair and onto your shoulders, and Garrett is like right in front of the Flatwoods Monster painting. And you see that in its hands, there is like a little gemstone that is glinting noticeably red, and it almost seems like if you fiddled with it, you could pull it out.
I'm gonna try and just rip the whole painting off the wall.
Okay.
Ideally for like maximum property. I want to fuck this thing
Okay,
up.
so you tear the painting off the wall, and as you tear it off, it kind of rips apart from the point where the gemstone is, and as you rip it off, you realize that there was a way to pull the gem out to take the painting like safely off the wall without ripping it, but you do rip it off.
The monster pissed me off earlier when,
Yeah,
it was trying to
yeah,
get us.
you tear it off, and now you see that behind the painting there is a small crevice and there is a little DVD case, just with no images on it, but it's a little DVD case and it has a piece of tape over it, and written on the tape in Sharpie is Experiment 60.
Ooh, gonna take that and just kind of swing it down Nile. Like, hey, take a look at this, bud.
Cool. All right, you guys have whatever this is. Now, so there is a door at the end of the dining hall that goes out to the backyard, and then there's the kitchen that you came from. So those are your options. So what's the plan, guys? You all reconvene?
Yeah, I
You
think
start
we
to
go.
smell caramelizing sugars and
Yeah.
sort of browned butter from the other room.
So I've got a ruby in a DVD case.
And some baked apples, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And your
Add-
face is
add
still-
baked apples to
Absolutely
inventory.
destroyed priceless painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. What would you guys like to do now?
So okay, I don't know if the maid told you this, but he said there were 2 rooms that are particularly dangerous or spooky or whatever, and it's the basement and that room at the end of the hallway when we first came in.
Yeah.
So I think we're finding some weird shit. We found stuff behind the paintings. We could just go rip down all the paintings and see if there are more crevices and more DVDs. But that feels a little repetitive. So let's go ahead and check out one of these other rooms.
Or
Well, first we can have apples if that's.
yeah, I think why don't you all sit down and eat some apples, and I am gonna go look for a DVD player.
Oh, good.
That,
So
yeah,
I'll
I was gonna
snag
say.
the-
I was gonna say like let's find a TV or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna say probably heading over towards the living room. I'm assuming that's where it would
Yeah.
be.
You walk through the foyer into the living room, and you see. Well, let me pull that up. So you see a big ass living room with tons of sofas and couches, and it is you find the living room beyond the foyer. It's a cozy place with nice sofas and couches for relaxation. There is a central coffee table where many a drink rested on coasters, hopefully. And the main attraction of the room is this giant theater-like television, the 85-inch Sony Class X91J LED 4K UHD with Dolby surround sound. Sheesh.
I immediately eye the big TV and just sort of shake my head and sigh because it's like the stuff that kind of killed my family business, like this sort of like switch from analog to digital. I'm like,
Yeah, and there is a Blu-ray DVD player attached to it with a couple of DVDs stacked on top. So
let's bring your apples. Bring your apples in. Garrett, do you know how to work a DVD player? I've never owned one.
Not well.
Not well. It's better than.
They're all different.
Does anybody know how to put a DVD in?
oh my
I
god.
technically do have. I have a.
I technically know how to put a DVD.
Yeah,
Let me
I
be
do.
very clear. None of you will ever have to roll for putting a DVD in a DVD player.
Well, I
can-
just
I
don't.
still
want
think
to
it
do
makes sense to have the most skilled person do it. Okay.
Yeah, look, it's. I do think I have a whole bookcase full of DVDs and Blu-rays out there, so I'll go ahead and say that I have some proficiency in doing this task. And I'm going to take. I want to look at the DVDs on top of the DVD player first.
Sure.
But then we'll, if none of those interest me, if there's not like RoboCop or something,
It's like Big
Then we'll
Mama's
put-
house, like
Big Mama's House 2.
Yeah.
white chicks, like
White chicks too.
300,
302.
which actually happened. I forgot that movie existed, but
saw
it
that
did.
in theaters too.
You saw 300 too?
Oh my
I did.
I thought that was straight to DVD.
No.
No? Okay.
No, for certain, I can tell you, I was in a movie theater. and I saw
So
it.
you find on top of the Blu-ray player a couple of DVDs. You find an old DVD of Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 1. You find also a DVD collection of a Paranormal Activity collector's box set. And you find a little known found footage horror movie titled The Legend of Old Man Weary.
Why do I know that name? Oh, fuck.
So
The other two I know, but the other Legend of Old Man Weary.
I sit in a lazy boy and put it all the way back. So I'm like laying
you
down
are,
and
you're
trying to.
basically converting it into a bed.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat hot, drippy apples
You've got the apples
while
like
laying
resting
down
on your
completely.
chest.
Yeah.
You were just covered in apple and cinnamon and all this stuff. It is just coating your chest. Also, opposite end of the living room, there is a doorway.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in the
Experiment 60.
yeah. Let's pop in Experiment 60. I like hover over Legend of Old Man Weary for like a minute and then I'm a full 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I finally decide to put in
Okay.
experiment.
When I realize we're not going to watch Buffy, I go, oh, man.
Same. Oh man.
Oh, man.
You play the mysterious Experiment 60 DVD. There is a momentary static. There's momentary static, and then a night vision recording of a library pops up. There are 4 people in this footage. One is at the foreground, up close to presumably the camera. They're speaking directly into the camera, and it's a woman. And there is one other woman and 2 other men who seem to be hurriedly working on something strange in the background. And the woman in the forefront says, this is what she says. Experiment number 60. Hopefully this is the one that works. We're not sure what these entities are yet, but I feel like we're getting closer. Our investigative partners, Hannah Bully and Cox Smolder, have discovered that the entities are somewhere within the manor, even if they're not showing themselves.
I do a spit take where I spit hot apples.
I laugh.
Yeah. When is there? Yeah, Cox Smolder. And I spit hot apples sticky all over myself.
I remember that, and also, if I remember correctly, Old Man Weary was the bridge that you couldn't get across. That I think you were on that episode.
Oh
Colin.
yeah, that
I
was
think
the
that's what Old Man Weary
impossible
is.
bridge.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm
Kyle
trying to
looks
piece
like a proud
together the
papa right
fucking.
now.
I'm trying to piece together the lore here to figure out where we're going.
Kyle just gave Niall such a loving look. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Like a
So
dad watching his kid ride a bike for the first time.
So she goes on. She says, these entities are here in the manor, even if they're not showing themselves. They seem to be the cause of all of this and possibly the murder. We believe these esoteric key runes somehow hold the key for contact with these entities. And here she pauses to hold up a metal disc with a rune etched into it, much like the one that you discovered in the orchard. And she turns to the other people working behind her and she says, "We ready, guys?" And one man looks up and gives her a tenuous thumbs up. And she says, "All right," and steps back from the foreground to reveal a large machine in the middle of the library. She moves over to the machine and sets the rune into a slot in the side of this contraption. And all 4 of these researchers give one another a curt nod and then turn the machine on with a lever. And immediately there is regret. You see electricity tinged a terrible red color arc from the machine as it snarls loudly, and you hear screams from all the researchers as the electricity passes through them, lighting all of them on fire. And then, as suddenly as it began, it ends as the researchers are all voiped out of existence. And then the footage blinks out, and there is a produced by, and the produced by credit goes to a paranormal investigative team known as Ghost Blasters, with 2 Z's on the ghost and the blasters. And the
Oh,
DVD
man.
stops there.
So if that was the same murder we're here for, this DVD was produced post death of these 2 podcast hosts. Because they reference the murder in it. If it's the same thing,
I was thinking the same thing.
they also just basically someone hid a snuff film behind a like portrait in the dining hall. So there must be someone else here or something else happening. I don't really know.
Can we? A question from Niall, since you're so good at DVDs. Are these things that you can? Are these things you can rewind and pause?
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
is this Mike? Do we have to wait for it to come back on at another time?
It'll loop,
It'll loop.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think.
because
like
I
a
kind
long
of
TikTok.
Like a TikTok.
I do want to see if it's the same disc. If
Okay.
it's the same disc. So
Let me grab the remote and I go ahead and try to rewind it to the point where they're showing the disc.
I mean, he makes this shit look easy.
He
You
really-
see that, Colin? I mean,
I'm
my
still
God.
like I'm flushed with rage at this piece of technology.
Colin is actually losing respect for Niall because Niall knows how to work a DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, you compare the 2 discs, and they look to be like the same kind of thing, but they have different symbols on them. They're similar symbols, but they're different. I mean, the disc in the video is definitely like, it's like what Garrett found about the original disc is like, I can't determine what language this is, but it seems to be a language, but it's nothing that we have on Earth.
But the markings are different.
The markings are different.
Okay.
Can
These are
I?
Sumerian Beyblades.
I am going to pull. I'm going to pull up a notepad and a piece of paper out of my pocket and go up to the TV and write the runes on the piece of paper.
Okay.
Like try and trace them out. I want to keep these on a piece of paper.
Sure. Yeah. You're able to do that.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do the same thing with the disc that we have too, just so we have a backup copy of the runes.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Smart.
So I kind of want to see if this library is in this mansion from the picture from the DVD. So does anyone want to go try to find a library?
Yeah, let's just go walk around a little bit. I stand up and sort of trying to wipe stick all over my shirt. I try and button my cardigan over
So
it, hide it.
there is the door at the end of this living room, and then there's the back the way you came. Those are your kind of two options.
Do you want to split up, gang, or do you want to all stay together?
Ooh, should we split the party?
I'll go with you to the library.
Okay, Jules,
Garrett,
go to the library.
You want to
hang out?
go? Do you want to
Well-
go back? Well, I guess which.
You
We'll
don't-
take the door at the end.
To
at
try to
the
find the
new
library.
door. You guys can go back and go to other places.
You two are taking the door at the end. You two are going somewhere else. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Niall and Jules take. Let's start with you guys first. You guys take the door at the end of the living room, and you walk in. This is perfect. Niall, you open the door. You walk in there, and this is an audio engineer's wet dream. All the nicest microphones are arranged in a well-padded studio. Incredibly expensive studio monitors, interfaces, and headphones are used in this studio. The amazing speakers attached to the computers that are in this room are nonetheless crackling with static. And as you step into the room, the lights flicker a few times.
Must be a grounding issue.
Thank you. I see. I knew I was going to get something like that. The vibes in this room are decidedly very off. And as you step inside, the temperature noticeably drops mere moments after entering the room, and you feel as if you're being watched.
Hey, Jules, if you ever want to start a wrestling podcast,
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
we just sit down and record it. No. So I'm
That
gonna,
Adam Cole, Adam Page match this week was fucking crazy, wasn't
great.
it?
Man, it was really offensive to Christians, though.
I
so
thought Adam Page would bleed more.
you're right.
If only.
Usually he tries to, but this time it was pretty minimal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and check out the producing area, the computers with the crackly speakers. I'm gonna see if if there's any sort of like power conditioners or anything going on to clean up the power, or if it's
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So sure.
So yeah,
I just pick up
absolutely.
2 chords and look at them like,
Basically,
yeah.
basically the
Definitely
the most
electronic.
optimal and expensive like recording setup that you could think of, Niall. That's what this is.
okay.
Which I don't quite know what that is, but you can picture it.
Okay, so
No.
this is like a really good system. It shouldn't be having this crackly bits. It must be some either faulty cabling, or I don't know, EVP shit. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the ghost box the spirit box that I have.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set it up, and I'm going to start trying to basically see if I can channel some sort of spirit into the spirit box. And so I'm scanning it. It's scanning through all the fucking FM and
Yeah.
waves. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you set that up and it's functioning. What do you do? Do you say anything?
The only spirit box video person I've ever watched on YouTube is this like really annoying British man. And so he's just like, "Hello, ghosts of like Princess Diana. Are you here in this room right now?"
Is that what you do?
Can you channel through? So the only way I think spirit boxes work is by doing a bad British accent.
Okay.
Now it goes, all right, lovey.
All right, lovies.
Like
any
asking about
ghosties in this
Princess
room?
Diana.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna specifically. Do I know the names of these podcast hosts?
Their names you would know are
I was gonna try and switch out the first letter of each of your names, but because they both end in Isle,
Yeah,
Niall and
they're-
Kyle is
Well,
just
it's Niall with a Y and Kyle with
yes.
an I.
Yeah,
there you go.
Miles.
That's exactly what their names
Neil
are.
and Keel.
Yeah, exactly.
Neil and Keel.
Neil and Keel.
All right, I'm calling for the spirits of Neil and Keel, famed podcast hosts, rich men recently deceased,
Incredibly hot.
incredibly sexy, even though you're old as shit. Are you here in this room right now?
There's a pause and then the lights in the room flicker. And instead of hearing the beautiful tones of the podcast hosts, you hear a woman's voice say, "Hello," through the spirit box. And while that happens, let's cut to these two.
Cool.
So you guys, there's an upstairs that's like there's an upstairs, and then there's like beyond the dining room, there's like a backyard area.
Garrett, where would you put a library if you were rich and had a mansion?
I don't think that I would put it in a backyard because I feel like the books would get wet if it rained.
I think that's a good first thought. Alternative,
Best thought.
yeah,
I thought you were gonna say I don't think I would have a library.
yeah.
Seems pretentious. Seems outlandish.
Yeah. Unless you're, yeah. I like that. So let's avoid the backyard. I feel like I would want my library to be upstairs.
Okay.
Mainly because the weight, like the weight of knowledge, I think is just something better held at a higher
Closer to
gravitation. Oh, closer to God.
Yeah, closer to godliness. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get as close.
Is close to godliness.
Let's get as close to God as we can, and walk.
Are we gonna?
Yeah, well, obviously. Let's walk up the stairs. I'm gonna let's head upstairs.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you go upstairs, and as you hit the sort of landing, you see that there's a hallway that stretches to the back of the mansion. And you see one door on the left side of the hall, and then two doors on the right side of the hall. And then at the very end, above a tall, beautiful stained glass window, you see what appears to be a trapdoor for an attic. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say the two doors on the right-hand side, just for it to make logical sense, those are bedrooms. There's nothing in there, though. You go in there and you're like, oh, okay, so this was Neil's bedroom and this was Keel's bedroom. And, Keel's bedroom's full of, they're full of, cool shit that they, enjoy in a bed.
Stuff that, cool, sexy guys would.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, on the left-hand side, though, you open that door up, and in there you find the library from the video. And in it, there's this big machine. And the machine, you can see, is utilizing somehow, or was utilizing somehow, these two enormous Tesla coils. And fused into the machine is the rune.
The rune is
the disc.
Yeah.
So you're investigating in there.
Got it.
And you know how they placed it into the thing?
Yeah.
It is fused into the machine, presumably from their accident. And you see that there's ashy spots on the ground that look like they may have been where the bodies were. But then the library itself, it nothing particularly interesting. The shelves are filled to the brim with comic books, manga, sci-fi novels, other things that geriatrics would enjoy.
The classics section is just the entirety of Lone Wolf and Cub and Kingdom Come.
Yeah. So there is a conspicuous book sitting on top of the machine, resting on top of it. And it is titled How to Succeed in a Competitive Podcasting Market. And you can see this machine has the disc inside it.
I was kind of expecting this, knowing that there was an attic, that if the books were going to be close to God, they'd be up there, because that is higher up. Do we want to go look at the attic before we start farting around with the machine, or do you want to try and figure out what's going on with the machine, Garrett?
Can I look and see, when you say the rune is fused with the machine?
It's stuck in there, and there's melted metal
okay, so the rune doesn't look like it's been destroyed.
It's not destroyed. It's just stuck in there to the point where it does not. You would have to have some sort of crazy machinery to get it out.
Gotcha.
So we shouldn't spend half an hour on rolls.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely not. I would stop you.
I think this rune is fucked.
Yeah,
and we can just forget about it unless you've got, I don't know, a
I'm
crane
proficient
or anything.
No.
Yeah. So maybe let's leave this for now. I don't think there's anything that we're going to gain here, at least not at this moment with any kind of heavy machinery or anything like that. So let's go check out the attic, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's true. As we leave, I am going to pick up the book, because I'm starting to think man, if this is the kind of wealth and influence you get from owning a podcast, there's not, as far as I know, there's no podcast about typewriter repair. So
untapped market.
It feels like an untapped market.
market.
So
I'm definitely man.
Yeah,
for sure.
we're on the same page. What do you do on Wednesdays at 8? And as
Anything you want me to, man.
I'm gonna just start kind of like paging through as we walk over towards the attic.
Yeah, as you page through, you're getting all kinds of very interesting tips. You notice some strange things about it, though, as you're kind of flipping through it. You notice that it mentions the names of different planets. And different, it's like, it'll have these like very normal tips, and then it'll mention something about like the Sirius, like galaxy.
So by planets, you don't mean like Earwolf and like, like different big podcast networks? That's not what we're talking about
No,
here?
we're talking about different planets in the solar system.
Okay.
It'll be like, the Martian technique for this recording is et cetera, et cetera. So you'll get stuff like that. And that's very weird to you. But as you flip to it, the remaining half of the book is destroyed because it has been hollowed out. And you flip to a page where it is hollowed out and you find in there a key.
Oh, I hold up the key and I sort of dangle it back and forth. I'm like, curiosity wins the day. And I sort of wave it back and forth, and I slip it into my pocket, and I take the book and I chuck it over my back shoulder. And I say, full of stuff that doesn't exist anyway. And I throw it back. Let's go over and Garrett, how do you feel about getting on 2 sets of shoulders in 20 minutes?
Okay. I mean, do you want to get on? Like, let's mix it up. You want to get up on me?
I was kind of hoping you'd ask. And I go and try and scramble up on, I don't know if there's a ladder. I don't necessarily care. I'm going to try and scramble onto Garrett's shoulders and peek my head into
the
the
combo
attic.
of you and me, there's a lot of reach there.
We can get places.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It is the tallest grouping of any of the 5 of us. So
Go ahead and roll for lasers.
As Garrett is the base or me as the climber?
You as the climber.
Am I rolling a 1 or a 2?
Well,
I
let's say
like to
2.
think I would be helping him. Like,
Yeah, that's why I'm going
clamber
to
up
give him.
here. Yeah,
you're
for the
prepared.
2.
Go ahead and roll 3 because you're prepared. Plus, you're helping from Garrett. I'm just kind of throwing out the typical rules of helping because this just seems easier. So,
Okay.
yeah, just go ahead.
I'm going to roll 3 here. Let's see. And my number is 3 and it's laser, so I'm trying to roll under a 3 or magic.
Correct.
I have a 2-2-3, so I critically succeed.
You succeed.
I
Garrett
get to
floats up
critically-
on your
So
shoulders.
good at climbing.
critically succeed, and I get a laser
Colin,
feeling.
Colin
okay.
does like a somersault
You-
onto my
Yeah.
shoulders and like rockets upwards.
Okay, so first you can ask me a question, and then you're going to get a reward.
Okay. Is there a market for a podcast specifically about repairing typewriters?
So you're going to get.
Will I make money?
You are going to get a very honest reply from God for this one, and He's going to tell you, "I'm sorry, but no."
My heart sinks
So,
a little, but
a
I still
little.
critically succeed
But-
climbing it.
Single
Your
tear.
critical success affords you a little bit of a reward. So you manage to pull the trapdoor open, and a ladder kind of falls out for you guys to scramble up into the attic, and it gets you up into the attic. And as you walk up into the attic, you feel a chill surround you, and you feel the presence of something watching you, and you feel a tug at your collar. And then suddenly you hear a voice whisper into your ear. From a disembodied voice, and you hear it whisper, "In the backyard."
Whoa! I turn around
There's
and
nothing there.
and I wipe my hand.
You hear an ow.
I'm holding the eye that had the pink eye.
Garrett, sorry. Did you hear the voice? Did you hear?
No,
and
man.
say,
Garrett
"What?"
didn't hear it.
How do you use? And I pull out like the fucking Ghostbusters EKG meter thing. I'm like, there's something in here. How do you use this? How do you use this? Do you know how to use these?
That's just a prop, man. That's just because we had the whole naming
Where's
thing.
the crank on it? And I'm like turning over, looking at the crank.
It was $65 from Hasbro Pulse. Like, it doesn't actually do anything.
In your fumbling with the equipment, you realize that at the very end of this dark attic, which is pretty much just empty, aside from at the very end of it, you see a tall rectangular door that is extremely out of place. It looks like it's made of metal, and it almost looks like there are 4 slots in this door. And on top of the door, you can see etchings that look very similar to the etchings on the discs that you have collected, or the one disc you've collected and the one that you saw on the machine.
Gotcha. As I use the flashlight to look at my notes, I'm gonna go see if any of the etchings match the noted etchings from my notepad.
They do.
They do.
Some of them do.
I'm definitely gonna lean over and be like, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Do you still have the you don't have the disc, right?
I didn't have the disc.
You didn't have the
didn't I?
disc. We have the key. Is there a keyhole?
Yeah.
There's no keyhole.
Okay.
I'm going to cut back to these two, to Niall and Jules.
Okay.
So you guys are still in this recording studio, right?
Yep.
And you heard a woman's voice whisper hello to you.
I go, what up?
You don't get a response, but you can feel a presence.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Hello, governor. That's what I say.
Then you get a response.
Yeah.
You get a response. Hello, puppet. No, you hear a voice kind of faintly whispering, but you can't make out any words.
I see if there's a volume knob on the spirit box.
Accents too
I-
strong.
I quickly go and like look for a 1/4 inch out on the spirit box and put it through the big speakers in the studio to make it really loud. No, I would go, hey, hello there. I'm you're a little quiet for me, babe. Could you
Speak up,
can
lovey.
you speak up a little bit? I know you're speaking from the great beyond, but we can't hear you.
She,
Nudge Collin and be like, you think he's doing the British accent?
I think he's trying to. I don't think he's really succeeding.
you feel that the presence in the room become more sinister, and you hear a voice come through the spirit box, and it says, "Leave."
Oh God, she's Irish.
I go, can I bum a shiggy off you?
Killed instantly.
I would love to leave, isn't it? But I gotta solve the mystery of the dead podcasters, though. Is it, if you could help us with that, we leave post haste.
Such good accent work.
The fucking Terry.
Hello, governor.
You hear the voice suddenly get louder, and you hear the voice come through again once more, and this time it almost shouts, "Leave!" And then one of the lights that's like hanging overhead just like explodes.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the spirit box off, and then I'm going to just like. Are there any like drawers or anything on the desk that I can look through?
You search through the room, but you don't find anything in the room. Your princess is in another castle.
Okay, so I say, let's move on. Let's go find our friends and see if we can tell them we have a haunted recording studio that for some reason is really. I guess we didn't sign up on the sheet correctly or something.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be in here right now. So we're gonna go to leave and go back and find our friends.
So you guys all reconvene. Like, let's say in the foyer. You relay information to one another. So you're all up to speed. So what would you like to do?
I have a gut feeling.
Okay.
So, and this isn't for any specific reason. I don't have any I don't have any extra information, but I'm just thinking maybe the backyard.
You have that, and you have the key, if you remember.
Well, I do know that the guy said the spooky places are the basement and the door at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not in charge here. We can go wherever we want. What makes the most sense to everybody? Where do we want to go?
I feel like I gotta go with I was just joshing about not having extra information. A ghost told me backyard.
A ghost? Well, a ghost told me to leave. So
Like leave the house and go to the backyard.
Yeah.
maybe that's
That was the vibe I was getting.
we'll go to the letter of the
Last
law.
one's
not
there's a
the
rotten
feeling.
egg, and Collin takes off running, and I sprint out towards the door.
You as you run through the kitchen, you catch a whiff of something delightful in that seems to be emanating from the fridge, and as you run into the backyard. So
Shrimp.
You all run out into the backyard, and you're surprised by the grim sight you're met with. In the backyard, the entire area is filled with dead trees and gravestones. And as you inspect the gravestones, you make an interesting discovery. All of the gravestones have strange names on them. These would be names like Sparky and Fido and Dr. Puppy.
Dr.
Oh God.
And some of the gravestones have odd descriptions on them, like killed by falling UFO debris and eaten by a cryptid.
These sick fucks have a dog graveyard.
I got allowed to go. These guys must have killed a lot of dogs in their day.
As you're investigating this graveyard, you see that there is a bit of a patch of a clearing where it's almost like the gravestones were built around something. And at the center of that clearing with the gravestones, you see a white lily. Amid all this dead lawn and dead trees, you see a white lily in the center.
Oh, fuck.
Dog flower.
I have to remember my fucking La Llorona lore. Oh my god. Do we take the flower or do we not take the flower?
I'm going to sniff the flower.
So you go up to go to the flower.
Mm.
And as you get closer to the flower, you hear a growl. And stepping from behind a nearby gravestone, you see the spectral form of a hound. And this hound steps out and is snarling and growling at you and approaching you as you get closer to the flower.
I think I've tuned. Look, I listened to this podcast, or maybe I record it in kayfabe. I'm not sure which way it is right now. But I'm getting some vibes here. I think we've got a hellhound over there. So, like, watch out. And there's something to do with this white lily that I'm trying to remember how it works. I literally did the research for this, but it was fucking like 5 years ago. And I don't remember. God damn it. Hellhounds, you have to get to sacred ground. And
Surely a dog graveyard is sacred ground.
for a
right?
dog, I guess it might be. It might be consecrated ground. As long as the dogs didn't commit suicide, I think that should be sacred ground.
Did any of these dogs
Ready
kill
the
them?
gravestone
one of
say
the-
slit
one of the
his own
graves- yeah.
throat.
One of the graves says committed suicide.
Oh,
yeah.
The other
damn.
one says pancaked by a dump truck driver.
I'm going to go ahead and just say fuck it and pick the lily.
Okay.
I'm staring at the dog with my hands up like, Niall.
Okay, Niall, to do that, I need you to make a lasers roll.
Fantastic. I did pick weeds as a kid a lot.
Okay.
I
Old green
how many am I
Nile,
rolling?
they
How many am I
call
rolling
them.
here?
So I wouldn't say you're an expert. I don't even know if you're
Well,
prepared.
did you hear the thing you said about the weeds?
I don't know if that constitutes expertise.
I've watched Nile garden every day of his life.
I'll roll one. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't have a lot going. I'm really flying by my seat of my pants here. So
I mean, does anybody want to like help?
My eyes are trained on the hellhound that stepped out.
Okay.
growling.
I'm definitely still just like checking out the dog graves.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a 1. So I
That
Succeed.
is a success. So you manage to grab the flower and yank it out of the ground as the dog lunges at you. And you're able to snatch it away from the dog before it is able to wrap its jaws around you.
For
However,
the second time,
For the
as
se-
Niall
yes.
gets attacked by something while grabbing something at impulse, I am going to sweep the leg.
Yes.
okay.
There
I-
are 4 legs this time. Just so you-
Yeah, twice the
Lot
chance.
Hard
of
mode,
targets.
hard mode.
All right. You are welcome to try that.
I'm gonna sweep the legs.
this is Collin and my tag team move. I
Oh,
grab
yeah.
something and he sweeps the leg.
That's right.
I would
So-
like to make a point that as I was staring at this Hound of Hell,
You're
my
prepared.
Taekwondo instincts
You-
were kicking in.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead and roll 3 dice.
3 dice,
Yeah,
baby. I didn't
baby.
realize I was mid-max for leg sweeping.
Look, Collin may be a brown belt right now. I'm at brown pants. So there you go.
All right.
Colin is the group muscle.
I didn't think that's what I was at. And I'm trying to get over or under.
You're trying to get under your number.
trying to get under. I have 2 successes.
Okay.
I have a
So you do
and 1 is a laser success. I have a 1 and a 3.
Okay. So you manage to do your leg sweep on the dog, and your foot just passes through it. Like
And
there's-
you hear me say, "Not again."
your foot just passes through this thing like it's not even there, but it does seem to sort of almost make it like dissipate, like as if you were to like wave your hand through mist. It dissipates temporarily. and you can see immediately after your leg goes through it, you see it start to slowly try to reconstitute its form. That would be a clue to run. But I will also say that you do get to ask me a question now.
Cool. Can the hellhound follow us inside of the house?
No.
Okay. Run as it's moved.
So everybody runs the fuck out of there.
Absolutely.
But you were able to successfully make this hellish hound thing dissipate for a moment, enough for you all to get away. So you get back into the house, and you now have this lily with you.
Thank you, Collin, by the way.
You're welcome.
So you told us about this door in the attic, right?
Yeah.
There were places to put shit in the door.
Bunch of slots.
Were they all the
Resident
same
Evil.
shape? Like what was that like?
They were square, or sorry,
So none of our
no,
shit's
no,
gonna
no.
work in them.
They were
discs,
circular.
like this.
Okay.
They were shaped like discs. They're
So-
four
Like
there
maybe
were
like a
four of
hockey
them?
puck.
yeah, kind of hockey puck esque.
Okay. Fuck. How do we get the one out of the machine?
There's plenty. There's some unexplored areas.
Yeah, fair.
Also.
Who even knows?
Kind of bite it. Just,
Have we not been to the basement yet? Is that the place
No.
we didn't go?
basement's a bad place from what we know.
Mhm.
Desk or the one at the end of the hallway. There are like multiple rooms that we haven't been in. Plus,
Are evil.
Those are the last two, as far as I know, that you have not been in.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's try the basement out.
Yeah. Let's stay together this time.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we'll go.
Let's
to
all
the
hold hands.
Yeah, we're all gonna hold hands and we're gonna walk into the basement.
Okay. So you go to the basement door and it's locked.
If only we
I-
had a key of some kind.
I pull out a key and I say, "Don't worry, I got this." And I'm trying to throw it up in the air, and so it spins around, and I'm gonna try and catch it on the key ring on my finger.
Yeah, go ahead and roll lasers.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just gonna roll one here. Let's see if I trying to get under 3. I met it, so I got a laser.
You don't just catch the key. The key, as it drops, you just open palm shove it into the lock as it falls in the air, and it unlocks the door.
Colin's
and,
question to Kyle is, how do you like them apples?
and you get to ask me a question, I guess.
My question is going to be: is there a tool in the house specifically to get the disc out of the broken machine in the library? Is it a
Yes.
tool? Okay.
Is
And
it
then-
an album by the band Tool?
It is. It is
It's
lateralist.
lateralist, yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, we pulled the same one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only one, as far as I know.
Anima,
Oh, okay.
10,000 Days.
Name
Keep
them all.
going,
Come on.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Okay.
I open the door and I say, "M'lady," and I tip a fake hat at the 3 people in front of me, and I beckon them into the basement.
So the basement, as you descend the staircase, is the opposite energy of the mansion. It is dark. It is dank. There's extravagant manor above. This is just nasty.
How
Like
much is it like the Evil Dead basement?
It's a lot like the Evil Dead
Shit.
basement.
Evil Dead 1 or Evil Dead 2?
It's like kind of a mishmash of both.
Okay.
Um,
So there's a second basement area that has
it's
Hills Have Eyes
decrepit.
playing in it.
Yeah, it's like decrepit. And as you walk down the stairs, you can hear the sound of what sounds to be a human voice further down into the basement, mumbling to itself, and the occasional static hiss of electricity and some sort of tool. And as you enter the basement proper, you can see that this place is absolutely wrecked. There are machines, scrap metal, and detritus just littering the floor.
I walk in and go, well, what's all this then?
You want me to pull the spirit
Again,
box back
killed
out?
instantly.
Jules, can you roll feelings?
Yes. How many? What am I rolling for? Am I an expert?
I don't think you were an expert or prepared for what you just did, so go ahead and roll one.
Definitely not prepared. You're right.
Really role-playing Cabin in the Woods right now.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Okay,
So.
cool. As you're rounding the corner around a particular pile of machine garbage, you see a person silhouetted by the flashing light that is in front of them of something that they're working on. And they're hunched over it. And they're wearing a lab coat. And they perk up as you say, well, what's all this then?
What's all this then?
And you see this person perk up and they slowly turn around. And you see them, they have goggles on, and they have this hair that's wild and astray. and they pull their goggles up, and you would recognize this person as Nikola Tesla.
Hell yeah. Is it David Bowie, Tesla?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
My dream.
And he's got this giant contraption that is like, that's like basically got like it's like whirring away and cutting onto this like metal machine on his like desk slab. And next to his desk, you see in a cage a pigeon. And
My wife.
I immediately sense a chemistry between the pigeon and Tesla.
oh yeah, okay.
I can
Interesting.
tell there's like I feel like I interrupted something.
He turns around as you say this, and in a voice that you wouldn't expect, turns to you and goes, "Hello.
You sound nothing like David Bowie.
What? Who are you?"
I dropped the British accent because I can tell that it's not suitable for this thing, and I say we are Ghostbusters 2, the movie The Ride.
And you are not British?
That was a bit of a ruse. I apologize, Mr. Tesla.
Ah, I see. A ruse. Well, what do you want? I'm very busy, and frankly, if I'm being honest, extremely hungry. I have not left my lab for days.
Oh my God, that's so great because I brought with me some baked apples for you.
He looks at you.
Some leftovers that I brought.
He looks at the apples and he looks you in the face and he just slaps it out of your hands. Says, "No, no. Apples, no. I hate apples."
I go, I cannot deal with this guy. And I remove myself from the interaction. I'm so offended right now.
I hate apples. I crave greasy sustenance.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So
I run back up to the kitchen. I don't say anything to anybody else. I just go, I book it to go get the Culvers out of the fridge.
Yeah, so there's a slice, there's slices of pizza, there's ranch, and there's the Culver's box. And yeah, you
Okay, do I successfully bring it back down?
you grab that
Okay.
stuff and you bring it back down.
I offer him some Culvers.
He takes a look at the Culver's and he opens up the box that you hand him and he like sniffs it and he looks up at all of you and he goes, "I'm not the biggest fan of cheese curds." And he closes it and he hands it back to you. And then he points at you and he goes, "But the pizza and the ranch?"
Have you ever heard the phrase beggars can't be choosers, Nicola?
I am not begging.
The minute he mentions the ranch, I'm going to be like, "Hey, you and me, bud.
Do we share a connection over this delicious condiment?
I love the stuff. Can't get enough of it."
I'm over in the corner and go, Jesus fucking Christ. This is what we tried to avoid. We tried to avoid it.
He goes, "Yes, he basically he wants the pizza."
Fine, I say, and I go,
I'll go get it.
okay, all right. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like over it with Tesla.
So you bring back pizza, but now you also have these Culver's cheese curds.
he's cold.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Culver's
he was gonna
cheese
eat, I was gonna
curds.
be he's eating ice cold Culver's.
I'm taking some of the like bready bits from the outside of the fried cheese curds and I'm tossing them into the pigeon cage for the pigeon.
He watches you do this and he laughs with a booming voice and he goes, "Yes, yes, haha, yes, the pigeon. It is delightful, is it not? I don't know why, but I feel a strange connection to this creature. Oh, let me explain. I am an entity, and I have been planted in the body of a clone of Nikola Tesla."
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
I-
you're not Nikola Tesla proper.
No.
Is this a real is this a real pigeon?
I'm gonna turn to
Yes.
Jules. And be, do you think he fucks that bird?
I'm pretty sure
He turns back to Garrett and he says, "I do not fuck the bird, but I've heard stories about the body I inhabit."
I don't fuck the bird fucks me.
Oh my god.
So he,
Tesla bottoms for a pigeon.
he's eagerly cramming pizza into his mouth and dipping it in ranch.
Like swigging the ranch ball.
Yeah, the noises he's making are horrible.
I love
Okay.
this guy. This guy's great.
They're really vibing, and I'm still pissed.
I'm gonna go ahead and hey, Tesla-ish.
Yes.
You say you're some form of entity in the body of a clone. What are you?
Can you roll feelings for me?
Oh fuck yeah.
And go ahead and roll 2 because you're like investigating this. And honestly, roll 3 because you're an expert in the paranormal investigation stuff. So this is kind of
that
your
guy's dead.
wheelhouse. So just go ahead and roll 3.
That's why I gave you extra.
Prepared and expertise.
2, 3, 4. So triple failure.
He like wipes his mouth off and you see bits of pizza go flying. He goes, "What is it to you?"
Well, I'm kind of a fan of the body that you're in. Well, not like the body itself, the person that was
A fan
in the
of
body.
my body.
I'm really picking up what you're putting down here.
If I told you I loved your body, would you hold it against me?
Yeah. I just look. We're kind of on a time crunch here. We're trying to solve a murder case, and also there's some weird door in the attic, and I think there's like we have to find these. See this disc? There's like 4 of these. I think we know where one is, but it's stuck in a machine, and you've got a metal cutting thing. So like I'm trying to figure out: are you friend or foe?
He pauses there and he goes, "I feel nothing for any of you. However, bringing me the sustenance of the cheese pizza was." Gained you 1 reward.
Is this Tim Curry and Nikola Tesla's body?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
it's a pullback to our crossover episode where we watched Legend.
I'm getting it now.
So it's Tim Curry as the devil as Nikola Tesla.
It feels good. It feels good.
He says to you, I feel that I am neither. My memory prior to working here has disappeared, and I have no alliances whatsoever, but providing me the pizza, you have 1 reward. I will give you 1 reward. Give me a request and I will do it for you.
I'm cooing at the pigeon.
I feel like we should use the metal cutting thing he's got to get the disc out of that machine.
Ah, my metal cutting machine. Is that what you're looking at?
I'm talking to my group here real quick.
I apologize.
I'm basically what I'm saying is like I'm not giving a formal request yet. I'm trying to confirm, make sure we get the right request.
But my bad.
Yeah.
I as much as I hate, I was gonna say at first maybe we should ask to take the pigeon because Collin is clearly connecting.
I also
with
have a
this
connection
bird.
to the pigeon.
Yeah,
I can't deal. Look, this Tesla thing's a little extra for me. Like too much. But
He turns to you, Collin. He says, "Yes, fun and flirty, isn't she?"
I whisper, "I'm sorry" to the pigeon.
I quickly like bringing you guys in close.
Yeah. What's up?
To speak like privately.
Uh-huh.
Say if we use our like boon from this guy to get the pigeon, then someone is going to have to steal that like welding torch from him or whatever the fuck it is.
No, yeah, you can ask him for the torch.
Okay.
I think I'd rather we steal the pigeon.
Alternative
I was gonna say,
opinion.
I think Colin just asks for the pigeon's hand, wing,
Yeah.
Yes.
and maybe we can get a 2 for
I would say we could get the pigeon.
It's the
and then
pigeon's choice.
After I get the pigeon, I could sweep the leg.
That's so true.
Listen, I like this guy. Me and this guy, we've got a connection.
Do you
on
like
our
him?
shared love of delicious, creamy dressings.
Okay. So you're saying don't sweep. the
Don't
leg.
sweep him.
Okay.
At least not yet.
Okay.
Okay. So
He's got one more shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna
That's
get.
fair.
I'm gonna say, hey, okay, Tesla-ish,
Yes.
my good friend
Well,
of many years.
okay.
If you could grant us this one favor,
Sure. This is what I have outlined for you.
I'm formally requesting. I like a flare. I've got a flare for the dramatic. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's a machine up in the library.
Yes.
There is a disc that looks a lot like this one
Ah,
that's fused to the metal of that machine.
of course.
If you could go up and like use your metal cutting torch thing, whatever the fuck that thing is.
Absolutely. I will do this for you and then speak to me no longer.
Okay.
He's a very active listener. I feel really heard around this guy.
Yeah, so you get him to do exactly what you ask him to do.
And
You
while
have-
he's gone, do you guys want to steal the pigeon?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say
Absolutely.
I am definitely
All right.
hanging. I'm gonna be the last one up the stairs. I'm like, we're all coming, and I'm gonna sit at the bottom and
Okay, go
clunk my
ahead.
feet.
Go ahead and roll a lasers roll for me, Collin. You've been planning this for a few minutes now, so go ahead and roll 2. But
Okay.
you're not an expert in pigeon napping.
I'm not an expert in pigeons.
Wait, can I give him again? I would like to think I'm good at animal handling. Can I give him?
You're gonna
help?
have to. This time, I'm gonna make you roll
Can
for
give
it.
him some
Okay.
sage advice.
So
How
if
to
you
handle
succeed on this roll here, you can help him.
Okay. So I want, since it's lasers, I want over my number, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or no, you want
Under your
Under
number.
your number.
Well, unless you're helping me in a way
yeah,
that you
you're
can
right.
describe
You're
in which it's feelings.
Yeah, if you can describe that you're doing something with your feelings, then
No,
How would
I
your
mean,
feelings
let's
be?
be real. It's
Did
definitely.
you keep the pigeon calm so that it doesn't make a fucking scene? Because we want this pigeon to
think
be
so.
as
That's a good
quiet as
argument.
possible.
so you want to
Maybe
use
I can
feelings.
like throw. Is there like a blanket or anything that I can think?
Sure, it's like an ortolan. You could.
Well, no, like because if you throw a
We're
throw a
not gonna
blanket
eat the
over
bird.
No, and
over
it-
like parrots and shit, they think it's
Okay.
nighttime and they fall asleep.
Okay, sure.
Mhm.
Also, the blanket doesn't cover the bird. The blanket covers you so that God can.
It's a reverse
you.
ortolan situation. Yeah, go ahead and
The bird
roll
eats you.
feelings. You're kind of trying to keep it calm so the Collin can steal away with it. This is not going anywhere. But go ahead.
I got a 2, which is
Okay,
my
that's
number.
laser feelings. So you help him successfully. I don't think you get to ask me a question off of that though. You just assist
Right?
him.
Yeah.
So you
Cool.
get +1.
All right, so I have 3 dice, and I'm rolling
To steal the pigeon.
You- to steal the
roll-
pigeon.
You're rolling under your number.
under my number. Okay, my number's 3.
Watch him get a laser feelings.
I have a crit success with 2 laser feelings.
Yes.
I have 1-3-3.
Here's what happens. Garrett drapes a blanket over the pigeon's cage and sort of like talks calmly to it. And Collin's hand, like fucking lightning, just like zips in and out of the cage and grabs the pigeon. And now you're just
I
holding
put it
close
I put
to
it
your
under
breast.
one part of my cardigan.
Yeah, just in your jacket.
And the pigeon is so into it.
Yeah, and the pigeon's just like just sound asleep. And now you get to ask me a fucking question.
If I sweep the leg for Tesla-ish, will my leg pass through, or can I sweep the leg?
This one you can sweep. The
Okay,
leg.
good to know. I'm gonna walk up to the back door, and I'm gonna sort of like crank it open a little bit, and just sort of, you want out of here, bud? And I'm gonna like see if the pigeon wants to fly outside and go be just a pigeon, not in a basement.
The
of a murder
pigeon
house.
like looks out, and then it looks up at you, and then it just nestles its face into your jacket.
You hear it
Loves
like
you.
Collin wasn't prepared for it, and just involuntarily and audibly goes, "Aw."
Okay, excellent. You have a pigeon now. So, so
Write that on your character sheet.
I do.
you guys also now have followed him up to the second floor, where he is using the machine to cut away at the giant metal machine, and he reveals a third. That's the third one, right?
Second.
That's
Second.
Second.
Oh my god.
We only have
Yeah.
one, and we found that one.
Okay. A second one. And so he opens that up for you, gets that out, and he goes, one more thing. God told me to tell you that I have these. And he pulls out a small pile of canine bones.
Oh, cool.
And he
Great.
hands them to you guys, which I forgot about that. So
Okay. So we now have some dog bones.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have dog bones, a second disc, and a white lily.
And a pigeon.
And a pigeon. And Tesla just descends back down in the basement. What do you do now?
Have in going all around this house, have I ever seen a vase that is empty?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Should we bury these dog bones in the backyard? All a pet
Yeah.
cemetery-ish kind of vibe?
We're
Did-
like assembling a cryptid Pokemon team here.
Yeah.
did we were there any graves that seemed recently like turned in the backyard that we saw?
Not really. No.
Well, then I guess we just go and fucking bury. Well, how do we dig?
How do we?
Could we bury it where you rip the flower out?
We gotta watch
In
out
the
for the
center?
hellhound.
True, but that thing was incorporeal. So
Yeah, that's true.
Is it possible that it's tied to the bones?
Oh, if we maybe that.
And
that
if
would
we
let-
put the bones to rest, it's going to dismiss the hellhound.
I think we should go try and bury the bones. in the
Yeah, let's go
backyard.
bury the bones. Is there? Have we seen a shovel anywhere?
No, but I'm not going to. You
Okay.
guys managed to go
I
out
still
there.
have my
I'm going
vegetable
at it like a
peeler, and
prairie
I
dog,
use
just
it
like
kind of-
ripping.
Jules is taking an apple peeler and just fucking tearing away at the ground.
Yeah.
And you guys get enough of a hole in there to just kind of put the bones in. And you see the spectral dog start to approach you. And as you cover up the final little patch of dirt, Jules, the hound disappears. And you see it lift up a paw that somehow has a thumbs up.
Oh, that's so
And you
cute.
hear a spectral voice say, "Well done."
and I say, all dogs go to heaven.
Not
Two.
You hear the voice of the dog as it goes away and it goes, "No, this one will go to hell."
Shit. That movie wasn't right after all.
Well, maybe
yeah.
he likes it.
And
Maybe that's where he's supposed
That's
to go.
that's heaven for him.
As
Yeah.
you bury these bones, you feel a rumbling beneath your feet. And from the spot where you buried the bones, you see the earth start to bubble up. And then rising from the earth, you see another disc.
Hell yeah. It's 3 for 4.
So you have 3.
In one room we haven't inspected.
Right.
Mystery room time.
Let's go to the mystery room. And I'm
Mystery room.
trying to remember my fucking the Lily lore. Oh fuck. Let's go to we're gonna go to the mystery room.
Okay. You go to the room at the end of the hall. And here's the thing. It's locked.
I go back and try and use the same key.
No, it doesn't work.
I try and kick it.
Yeah, nothing
Powerful
happens.
legs. Wow.
Powerful legs, but nothing happens. This is a sturdy door. It's almost like there's one more unsolved room.
Yeah, we didn't solve anything in the fucking
In the kitchen.
No, well, true.
We didn't solve anything in there. We just made apples.
Well, we found the pizza.
That's
Yeah,
true.
found
we
pizza
also-
and cheese curds.
We didn't really solve anything in the recording studio.
Yeah, we kind of just pieced out.
because that
That's
thing
true.
said leave. Oh, do we? Okay, I'm gonna now that I have the lily, I'm gonna say, guys, I'm gonna take this lily and I gotta go check something. I can either go alone or people can come with me. I don't really care.
I'm just petting the top of my pigeon with a big smile on my face. So I'll follow anywhere anyway.
I'll come because they seemed really receptive to my
True.
accent last
Yeah.
time.
I'm gonna go back into the recording studio and with the lily and basically, I don't know if I need to turn the spirit box back on or whatever, but I'm gonna do it anyway and just turn it back on and go, "Hey, lady,
Oi!
I'm
Oi,
walking
lady.
here.
I found this lily in the backyard."
Why are
I'm
you all
walking
doing
here
accents?
in London.
Wait, when did you all start doing accents? What the fuck is happening here? I'm just confused.
I'm just happy to be here.
Look, it's a spirit box thing. You have to do it when you're using a spirit box. You have to speak in like
A perfect British
a
accent.
perfect British accent.
Like we're doing right now.
Colin, I have heard this before. is the
Okay.
thing.
Oh,
So
well,
I
fuck
think-
me, I
think
guess.
we're good.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying.
So I'm gonna offer the lily to the woman spirit in this room.
Yeah. Yeah, you hold out the lily and the lights begin to flicker and you hear from the spirit box. You hear thank you. And the lily begins to disappear. And as the lily disappears, it is replaced in your hand with a key.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Took me a second, but I remembered. Okay, so let's go ahead and go and see if this key works in the mystery door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't have any tricks or anything. And I'm just gonna, like a normal person, put the key in the lock and
Yeah.
Ooh, you can't crit if you don't roll.
True.
That's my number. That's the number one rule in D&D. If you don't roll, you can't crit.
So, having finally unlocked this door, to this mysterious room, you enter somewhat cautiously. And inside is a room that is completely white, utterly blank. Light from an unseen source illuminates the entire room, but there is nothing in this room at all, save for a blank white pedestal.
There are no blue meanies.
There are no blue meanies. There's this pedestal at the center. And sitting atop this pedestal is a CD player. And next to the CD player is a CD. Do you approach the pedestal?
As the person with the audio engineering degree, I'm gonna go up and put it to use
To
and
expertly
Okay.
interact
use
with
the
the CD.
CD player.
Okay.
Gonna
Always
do a special
fucking
little
digital.
flourish and fucking.
So
Yeah.
as you
I like
you
pull out a
pick up-
microfiber cloth and like wipe the disc
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
first.
Spin
and
the
then
disc like
spin it.
But
on
here's
your
the thing.
finger. And
Here's
then,
the thing. It's not some mysterious blank disc, Niall. It's a disc from a band that you're not super into, but you've heard of.
Eiffel
A
65.
band. No.
No, it's from. Oh fuck.
The band, you look at the disc and you're like, oh, okay, I've heard of these guys. The band is
I know.
called Disturbed 2, the sequel to Disturbed.
Wait, so weird Ghostbusters 2, the movie The Ride, listening to Disturbed 2, sequel to Disturbed.
Yeah.
And you
brand.
put it into the CD player.
That's fucking
And as the sick, nasty riffs begin to play and the amazing vocal style of that band begins to play, words in blood begin to appear on the opposite blank wall. And the words spell out, present your offering.
The pigeon.
Collin takes one big fucking step out of the white room with the pigeon. It says, shut your fucking mouth, Garrett.
Present
Be
your offer.
cool.
Does anybody have
Do you have any more of
put
the
in
apples?
put an apple in front of the wall.
Tesla slapped them all out of my hand. That was my last apple. Oh wait, no, I have this. I have one more that I found in my pocket.
Always
I
keep an
searched
extra
my
apple in your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my motto.
Okay, so do you present the apple? You put the apple out?
Yes.
Okay, so you set the apple on the pedestal. And when you do, you hear, coming from the distance, the sound of a car honking. And then you see a spectral form of a car, a van, burst through the wall, a ghostly van. And you see that there are two people in the van. One is driving, a ghost driving the van,
The other one ghost riding the
and
whip.
the other one is ghost riding the whip.
Hell yeah, it is.
And the one ghost riding the whip, they sort of do a speed by and they a drive by, and they grab the apple, and the car screeches to a halt, and they look at the apple, the one ghost riding the whip, and he goes, "Bro, I don't want this," and he crushes the apple in his hand.
I'm so furious right now. None of these ghosts want to eat my
Like
fucking
shaking
apples.
with
I
rage.
really am just like
And then the car just drives off back through the opposite wall.
When we were doing that episode, what was we were traveling around to sample a specific type of food.
Was it cheese curds?
It was fucking cheese curds. We were traveling all around Wisconsin trying to find the best cheese curds,
That's
and we
what
were
it
ghost
was.
riding the whip. I looked down at my pigeon.
That was you and Kyle, because I was DMing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Collin, for whatever reason, has a moment of inspiration as he's looking at the pigeon, just like in all sorts of fits in fear that he's going to have to sacrifice his newfound love, and for some reason, grabs some of the cheese curd crumbs off of his jacket, off of his cardigan liner and the pigeon's beak. And I go and I sprinkle like fairy dust the cheese curd leavings on top of the pedestal.
No, we didn't take the cheese curds with us from the basement, right?
I did. I was feeding it to the pigeon.
yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That's how
Yeah,
Colin
you-
charmed the beautiful
He
bird.
puts the cheese curds in there, and you hear the car honking again. Ghost Rider comes on through the wall, snatches up the cheese curds, and he looks at the cheese curds, and he goes, "Oh, bro!" And they begin to split the cheese curds among themselves, and they drive off.
Because they're ghost cheese curds.
'Cause
They're ice cold.
The writing on the wall disappears, and then you hear the CD grind to a halt, and the disc player pops open. And in place of the Disturbed CD, Disturbed 2,
The
sequel to Disturbed,
yeah.
is an alien disc.
Okay, cool.
Number 4.
So that is number 4. All right. Fantastic. We really kind of picked up the pace of these at the end here.
I had to. Yeah.
So let's go check out this fucking door, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we have the 4 of them. We didn't have to kill the pigeon. We didn't stop calling it the pigeon. Let's call it Slimer, because we are Ghostbusters 2.
The
I
sequel-
love
movie,
that.
the movie, The Ride.
I
So, yeah.
almost said the sequel to Disturbed. Ghostbusters 2.
To the sequel to Disturbed.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so let's take Slimer upstairs with the 4 discs, and let's go
Yeah.
see if we can pop this door open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop this little fucker open.
Is there any sort of markings that would?
I was gonna say, like, is there any like language that indicates like where they need to go?
When you inspect. So, okay. Yeah, when you inspect the door, you can see that the sequence of symbols at the top of the door seem to align with the 4 slots in the door.
Let's each
And
take
the-
one and put them all in at the same
At the same
Yeah,
time.
there
That's
you go.
cute. It's cute as fuck. Let's do
I love that.
Okay.
3,
Okay.
We
so
do
you-
that.
2, 1,
Boom.
boom, and we all put it at the
Okay.
same time.
They all put them in at the same time. And as you watch as the discs sort of spin around, and you hear an unlocking mechanism, and you see the symbols all start to melt away on the disc and then congeal at the center of the disc. And the 4 discs and their symbols begin to spell out a word you can read. Letters. And these letters
It's the word letters.
No, it's 4 letters.
Boob.
And these letters, each disc is a letter. And it spells Lore.
Lore.
Oh, God.
no.
How could this be?
And the door, you hear a loud unlocking mechanism, and the door.
Is the final boss we're going to have to fight the hosts of Lore?
If we do, I'm going for kill shots.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait to
Okay.
sweep the leg.
Oh,
So
God.
many legs are going to get swept.
Oh,
So
my God.
you presumably push the door open, and inside is a clearly the interior of a spaceship. And in this spaceship, you see, a control panel and all these things, but you see at the center 4 chairs, and sitting in these 4 chairs are 4 spindly alien creatures with no mouths, but big black eyes. And all 4 of them slowly turn to look in your direction. And you hear in your minds, well, I guess the jig is up. And you hear another sort of more different alien voice say, "Yeah, looks like they found us. I don't know. Do we want to get out of here? Like, look, are you guys gonna hurt us or?"
Hey, don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
A third one says, "I don't know what that means."
Okay.
4th one is offended. He's like, that's kind of a shitty thing to say.
I don't plan to hurt you unless you're going to scramble. Did you scramble Neil and Keel's brains on purpose?
Was it bad shrimp?
Was it bad shrimp or was it like a
Super
zap?
Balls?
All 4 of them like look at each other, and then they look back at you and they're like, "Look, we'll be honest with you, okay? The podcast's host living at this manor, they were kind of encroaching on our territory, okay? They got to episode 300 before we did, okay? They really kind of look, Lore, if you don't know this, we kind of created as a sort of marketing experiment, and we were just looking. Look, the whole thing here is that Lore was going to be the first intergalactic simulcast, and we got booted out of the way by the podcasters at this mansion. Their podcast was so good that it booted us out of the market.
That sounds like motive to me.
That does.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did it sound like we were saying we didn't kill them? Because we did.
Oh.
Well, then I guess prepare to get wrecked, idiot,
guys-
and I charge forward.
You guys know there's been a lot of podcasts that have gotten past 300 episodes, right?
You see the 4 aliens frantically turn to each other and they start making motions that look like nervousness, and they turn to you and they say, "What?"
I stop on a dime, but like, oh wait, no, okay, no, never mind. Garrett, that's a really solid point. But
Yeah, Comedy
watch
Bang
yourself.
Bang went past 1,000. If I'm pretty sure.
Mega 64 is
Yeah.
in the late 400s.
My brother and
Like,
me's pumping up there super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not.
Yeah.
But if your podcast sucks, then yeah, fuck you. But
None of them have been intergalactic.
Do you
So, I
release
mean-
weekly? Because that's a big part of the reason why a lot of them make it up there. Some podcasts release multiple times a week.
They are all just frantically conferring with each other, presumably psychically. And they turn back and they say, "This is all new information to us."
Yeah, it's really the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a regular posting schedule so that people know when to expect the content.
Was any of this in that book?
Yeah. Did they not read the book?
Hey, Collin found a book down there.
Did you just skim that bad boy or?
They're like, "Well, some of the skills don't really transfer as far as Earth is concerned. It's a whole awkward process, and we just handle things differently from in our galaxy." And
Are you guys on Spotify yet? Is that a thing? What's...
we're on intergalactic
Okay.
Spotify.
Spaceify.
But so they said, they look at you and they go, "Look, we will adapt your story if you let us go." The fact of the matter is, you just released us. You just let us out. That was holding us here. That door, those runes, we were being kept prisoner here.
Oh, that was our bad. Sorry.
No, you didn't put us up here.
Yeah,
The podcasters did.
I look back at everybody else and be like, "Hey, can I Can I talk to you just about like the podcasting stuff that we talked about? Can I hit you all up in the other room here really fast? Can you all give us like 2 seconds?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. Come on. Hey, guys, come over here. I have some, I feel like we might want to hit up Tessa. And we just started like mumbling as we go back through. And I'm like, we'll be back in just a second. And I slide the door shut and pull one of the discs out. And I say, okay, is anyone not okay with that?
No, I think I feel okay about
I
it.
feel good about it.
You feel pretty okay about
honestly.
that?
And then you hear from behind you, as you lock them in there, you hear a voice that pops out from the trapdoor to get into the attic. And you hear the voice say, I'm very okay with that. Thank you very much. And you see stepping into the room the very real and wonderful Mothman.
Oh.
And he regards all of you and he says, you did it. You solved the mystery exactly how I asked for you to do. The previous team couldn't crack it, but you did it.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mothman.
Look,
Thanks.
I've been an admirer of these two podcast hosts, which is why I sent you on here. They say so many beautiful romantic things on their show about me, and I felt like it wouldn't be fair if their murders went unsolved. But now we know that it's lore. The podcast run by aliens.
I'm not even listening. I'm like applying lip gloss, and I have like one of those breath sprays, and I'm like,
I want to try and
I
scope
have
his
like a
ass
little
out.
pocket mirror, and
You're
I'm like,
getting ready to
my
make out
hair,
with
like-
Mothman.
In sequence, Mothman looks at each one of you and gives each person a wink, and then moves to the next person and gives them a wink. And he's like, so, I promised a reward. No, for each of you, you're going to get $1 billion. Naturally.
Yeah, of course. That's the
But
base
I
fee.
start hyperventilating.
You're also going to receive an all expenses paid trip to the Mothman Festival where you can party with me and we can tell the story of how you solved the murder of the podcast manor.
That sounds legit.
It
I'm
will be
really,
legit.
I'm really excited.
It
I haven't
will
had a
be legit.
vacation in years.
And here's the thing. I'm about to show you that we do, in fact, kiss real well.
Some sax music starts playing, and then I start turning the audio down on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all bring it in for a big group hug with the Mothman
and a nice juicy kiss.
and a nice juicy. Everybody gets
we all just
For those that
juicy
want it, you
kiss.
can have a juicy kiss. With
Can I-
Mothman.
Palm the ass.
Yeah, you cup it and you
In the
feel it.
huddle?
You feel Mothman put his hand over your hand on his ass.
It's actually
He's
bigger than it is on the statue. And
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
My
give
man's
like
got
an
cake.
awkward like back pat, but I'm not gonna do the kiss.
I'm gonna hover hand.
Yeah. The pigeon coos, and we cut to black.
We solved
You
it.
solved-
gang. Ghostbusters 2.
That's right.
You solved my murder mystery.
I love that I got a ruby. Like I got a precious
You
gem.
weren't supposed to like it was literally a mechanism to unlock that portrait and you just tore that shit off.
Yeah.
So
We came out with a ruby, a pigeon, and a story.
this is
and $1 billion.
everybody's got $1 billion, a trip to see Mothman, and you lock the evil aliens of lore in their spaceship. Wow. That was that
Feels
was
good.
yeah.
Feels
Thank
great.
you all very much. I can't believe this is episode 300, but here we are.
I think I really can say this is Sparta.
Thank you.
It feels right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
so proud of Ghostbusters 2, the movie, the ride. We fuck Ghostbusters, fuck lore. Ghostbusters 2, the movie, the
Call
ride.
back to
That's what we needed.
Fuck Nikola Tesla ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
He was all right.
Yeah, he was fine. He
was pretty-
he was particular about his diet.
Yeah, he was a
Guy loved
neutral
his ranch.
party. Yeah, he did love his ranch. I have no idea. Do we wrap this up with business or do we just let it slide?
I think we want to at least give some of our friends a chance to plug their
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take care of some business.
And you
wrap
got to
this.
give that email for everybody to say how they feel about Garrett.
Oh, true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
So we will do some. Business.
Okay, cool.
So first,
Episode 300.
yeah. Collin, do you wanna run down your business?
Yeah, sure. I'll run down the business. I do a podcast called Pop Culture Roll Call with Stas and Mike. Both Niall and Kyle have been on it multiple times, friends of the pods, and we're stoked that y'all made it to 300, even though you beat us.
You're almost there,
much
though.
like lore. Yeah, no, we also started way after you, but we do a pop culture podcast where we watch TV shows, specifically in the Buffy verse is kind of our main thrust, but we also watch Orphan Black and Firefly too, where the sort of narrative thrust there is that each of the three hosts get one character scenes and only that character scenes, and we typically do shows that we haven't seen before, and we all get together and talk about the episodes one at a time and explore the show from a very limited, narrow viewpoint. So yeah, we've been going for a little while now. We have a Patreon. You can just Google us, Pop Culture Roll Call. You can find us on Facebook, though that ain't really active. But yeah, hit us up. Take us a listen. If you like Angel, if you like Orphan Black, if you like Firefly, if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah.
We love having Collin on. We've had all of the people from Pop Culture Roll Call on.
Oh, yeah.
Other than
to the
producer
show.
James.
Other than producer James. Well, we might have to do that sometime. So
Yeah.
I know he's busy with like children and stuff. But
yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say like we've had everybody who's been in this room on the show.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jules, do you want to take care of business?
I host a podcast with one of the co-hosts of this podcast, but I will never tell which one. And
There is a brand split.
there's a brand split. It's called The Outside Dive. It's a weekly podcast where I break down what's going on in the world of professional wrestling, specifically All Elite Wrestling most of the time, but we watch all sorts of other stuff, WWE, Ring of Honor. And we kind of talk about the goings-ons in the wrestling world. So you can check us out anywhere podcasts are sold. And we're on Twitter at Outside Divecast.
Yeah, if you like wrestling, check it out.
Comes out on Mondays.
Yes.
And then, of course, our business, which we can just quickly run through, I guess.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at IGW Podcast.
You can follow us on Facebook.com/ItGetsWeirdPodcast.
And we're on all your favorite podcatchers from Stitcher to Google Play to Apple Podcasts to Spotify. If you listen to podcasts somewhere, look up It Gets Weird and we're probably there.
ItGetsWeirdPodcast@gmail.com. Tell us your favorite things about Garrett. Email us right fucking now and tell us your favorite things. And honestly, Collin and Jules too. Just tell us your favorite.
More with Garrett.
For
Yeah,
me, for me specifically,
I'd like to forgo.
I would like as explicit as possible.
We'll get each of you will get one of our episodes. Like for every 100 episodes, we'll have them email it. So on 400, either Jules or Collin maybe can get involved. And but for now, let's focus.
It's
on
all Garrett.
Yes. So Patreon.com/ItGetsWeird. If you want to hear more content like this, we have a $2 tier and a $5 tier. At the $2 tier, every other week you get a bonus show called It Gets Weird TV, where we're currently watching Gravity Falls. And then at the $5 tier, you get access to that show plus another show on the off week. So you get a new show every single week on your own secret feed. And then, of course, whether you donate to the $2 tier or the $5 tier, you get access to the main show 2 days early on Friday instead of Sunday. And you get access to our Discord, which is fucking popping off with the community. So please come check it out. Donate if you can. We have a $1 tier that's just a tip. If you like our show, you don't get anything out of it. You're just saying, hey, I enjoy your stuff. Here's a tip. If you can't donate, please tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your congressmen to check out It Gets Weird. Episode 300, the longest episode we have ever done.
Yeah. That's and hopefully the longest episode we will do for quite some time. But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting the show for the last, I don't know, over 5 years.
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years. It's been really wonderful. And I'm so happy that we got to have all of you here for this episode.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for your contributions to the show throughout those years. And I guess that'll wrap us up. This has been It Gets Weird, and I've been Niall.
And I'm Kyle signing out.
And I love Garrett.
I didn't have any business, but